My name is John Wick. I am a graphic designer as well as a teacher and executive director, and I wear a whole lot of other hats. I basically want to drink coffee and make really cool things. My experience at Tech really gave me the confidence to say, well, I can go out and do that stuff. Montana Tech really legitimized and helped me develop the skills that I didn't even really know that I had. Montana Tech was my solution.
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
At Montana Tech, I matter. And students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
My name is Shani Spangion. I am Northern Cheyenne and Crow, and Montana Tech was my solution in a lot of ways. I've been working for the Northern Cheyenne tribe for 9 years. I want to make sure I'm doing meaningful research for my community. Montana Tech is a great place. It allowed me to really design my own program. A lot of accommodations were made for my family. I am here with my daughter. Montana Tech is my solution.
We don't believe that you have to be born into extraordinary circumstances to live an extraordinary life. So what we want to do at Montana Tech is we want to put more students on that extraordinary path.
We take our students out of the classroom into the field.
Montana Tech promotes problem solvers, not problem makers.
They're able to adapt to pretty much any situation.
At Montana Tech, our students graduate and they go to work. They live the American dream. By supporting the Montana Tech Foundation, you're helping us put more students on that extraordinary path.
Fans, please welcome the Montana Tech Pep Band under the direction of Dr. Pete Knutson. Check out Digger Vision for today's starters. Today's starters are brought to you by Montana Orthopedics. And now let's meet your Montana Tech Orediggers. At quarterback, a 6'3", 225-pound junior out of Monterey, California, number 18, Andrew Loudenbach. At running back, a 5'10", 195-pound junior out of Billings, number 33, Nolan Saracini. On the D-line, actually O-line, 6'2", 290-pound junior out of Gila, number 71, Travis Okeson. On the O-line, 6'6", 285-pound senior out of Milford, Utah, number 69, Tyler Denny. On the O-line, 6'3", 290-pound junior out of Missoula, number 66, Ryan Stemple. On the O-line, 6'3", 275-pound sophomore out of Billings, number 57, Jalen Whitney. On the O-line, 6'4", 275-pound freshman out of Bozeman, number 58, Jack Hape. At wide receiver, 5'11", 185-pound senior out of Missoula, number 80, Alec Bray. At wide receiver, 5'7", 170-pound junior out of Denver, number 5, Carlos Martinez. At wide receiver, 5'9", 180-pound senior out of Redding, California, number 3, Clay Cavender. At wide receiver, 6'4", 200-pound junior out of San Diego, number 7, Chris LaChance. On the D-line, 6'3", 240-pound senior out of Tumwater, Washington, number 42, Jacob Crawford. On the D-line, 6'2", 265-pound sophomore out of Helena, number 55, Tyler Sanders. At linebacker, 6'3", 225-pound senior out of Clancy, number 46, David Neese. At linebacker, 6'1", 215-pound senior out of Stevensville, number 48, Tyler Gavlak. At linebacker, 6'3", 225-pound senior out of San Diego, number 32, Matt Nalen. At linebacker, 6'3", 225-pound sophomore out of Butte, number 51, Drew Schliemann. At DB, 5'9", 170-pound senior out of Portland, number 1, D'Angelo Bell. At DB, 6'1", 190-pound junior out of Kalispell, number 11, Gunnar Kite.
This is where Montana happens, where fires can leave a lifetime of memories in ashes, where heavy rains can sink an entire town, where a wall of ice can bury a quiet neighborhood in an instant. And this is where you turn for up-to-the-minute conditions, for the most accurate forecasting, and for the information you need to help you and your family stay safe. NBC Montana is alerting you to severe weather danger.
Montana Tech's reputation is they do provide hardworking, practical, resourceful graduates.
It's amazing to me that we have 6 kids in this family that grew up on a farm, small ranch. We all turned out to be engineers.
Yeah, it's been pretty significant. I mean, there's all 6 of us kids have gone there and gotten degrees.
This is probably the best family you'll ever meet. Very rare you'll see a family of 6 engineers and married to engineers. So there's a bloodline there that's pretty rare.
My great-grandparents, all of their children attended Tech and graduated with degrees. Montana Tech felt more like a family, and they really wanted.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
We kind of try to make it personal. We enjoy what we do, we enjoy the customers.
All of the events that we've participated in, we do an annual spring cleanup to help clean up the neighborhood.
Steels and the Steels family is just a big contributor and a big supporter of the Butte community.
It's that special attention that you get that I don't think you get in a box store.
We have a store in Deer Lodge. We give back to the community.
We got to support the community that supports us, or we wouldn't be here.
Shop with us today and enjoy the Steels experience.
Check 1 2. Say hi, Asky.
Hi, Asky.
Perfect. Stream stuff up.
Take it they haven't fired the heat up on here. Heat on up here yet.
Supposedly they have.
I need another load of coal.
I'd get frostbite touching this thing. And we're off.
Montana Tech
check
plays
1 2,
here
1 2.
on your sports leader in Southwest
we're about
Montana,
90 seconds,
KBOW, a service of our great sportsman of the year, Mile High Federal Credit Union, Insty Prince, Lescavar Motors, Les Schwab Tire, McDonald's, Newland & Company, Pitt Printers, Pork Chop John's, Pro Build, Propane Services, Rocky Mountain RV, Red Line Sports, Town Pump, Buttori Collision Centers, Butte Granite Works, Copper City Wireless, EdTech Federal Credit Union, St. James Healthcare, Montana Tech, Bob Ward's Butte Community Federal Credit Union, Wayne Stearns Butte GM Auto Center, Dugan Dolan Mortuary, Metal Sports Bar, Mile High Motors, the Montana Club, Montana Orthopedics, Payne West Financial, Quillisi Glass, Rudolph's, Taco John's, Steele's, Montana Broom and Brush, Northwestern Energy. The Sportsman of the Year, proud to bring you Montana Tech Orediggers Athletics on your sports leader in Southwest Montana, KBOW Butte.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome here to Alumni Coliseum at Bob Green Field. Frontier Conference action on your hometown station, KBOW Butte. Paul Padisco, Ron Haskett, as we get ready for the first playoff game here at Alumni since 1997, as the Digs hosted in 96 and in 97. And that was the last home playoff game. They've certainly had playoff games on the road, but it has been a long while, my friend, since we have had a playoff game here in the stadium.
A real memorable day. In 97, a real memorable year, beating University of Minnesota at Crookston here, putting it on them pretty good. And then the next weekend we had to go to Willamette and face the likes of coach that many people in the college football world know, Dan Hawkins, who went on to coach at Boise State and went on to coach at the University of Colorado.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was a great year. That was a great football team. Exciting football team, real sound defensively, and a team of really good guys, which is, and the only reason I say that is because I've just fell in love with this Montana Tech football team this year. A bunch of good guys that are really playing good football right now. So it's an exciting year and a team that I try not to be a homer dog on the radio, but it's hard with these guys, and I think I've shown my true colors more this year than any of the previous 10 or 11.
Montana Tech, the Frontier Conference champions. If you follow Coach Morrell on Twitter, you did see the Frontier Conference Championship trophy that was delivered to his office earlier in the week. And Montana Tech with one loss on the year, that coming to Eastern Oregon in LeGrand. Their only loss on the year. They won the Frontier Conference. They end up number 5 in the nation in the last top 25 poll. And they will host here in week 1 against Dickinson. The Blue Hawks coming to town as, of course, Dickinson spent 2 years here in the Frontier Conference. We joke an awful lot that it felt like they were here for about 4 minutes, but Dickinson did spend 2 years here in the Frontier Conference, but a lot has changed for Dickinson since their time here in the Frontier Conference.
Yeah, it's changed, and one thing you have to remember about Dickinson, it's easy to go on schedules and look at common opponents and look at easy to look at what they did in the Frontier the last 2 years. I mean, all that stuff's easy to look at, but when you stop and look at them as a team, and you start with their, of course, players, personnel. They recruit all over the country. I was looking at their roster last night on the internet. I mean, they've got guys from everywhere, even as far as Hawaii, Peoria, Arizona, a ton of guys. But this is a Stanton-led bunch of guys. So, the Stanton boys that were all raised in Baker, I believe. Pete Stanton was on Dickinson's roster back when I played, back in the leather helmet era, and it's they got a good mentality, a tough guy mentality. They're going to run the football. In their respective conferences, two teams that really mirror each other. They run the ball more than they throw it. It's all a control passing attack, and they're going to test your will, your mental toughness, running between the tackles, running the edge.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our
They've also made comments in the paper about whether Montana Tech's really seen a true zone read team this year, which they have, but they made it sound like they hadn't. So, what that tells me is they're going to have the quarterback involved, handing the ball, keeping the ball in the zone read, and they test Montana Tech's defense. That vaunted Tech defense. I mean, they're tough, and I'd hate to be a targeted, good running attack at any level playing against this defense at Montana Tech. They got 11 guys that'll just flat out come up and smack you right in the mouth.
Yeah, you bring up a great point in that respect. Montana Tech has not given up a big day to any running back this year. Honestly, in my opinion, the guy that has run the best against them all year long is a quarterback from Southern Oregon. And he had a very good day, but again, they have a tremendous, Melvin Mason, a tailback for Southern Oregon, is one of the best in the nation, and Montana Tech gave him nothing. And you look at all the good tailbacks. You look at the Western game last week. How deep are Western at tailback? And none of their guys really got anything going at all. This Montana Tech defense has not given up yardage to a true tailback this year. And it'll be interesting to see if today's problems make it a little bit more difficult. You bring in this young tailback here for Dickinson State, Trey Boone. He is a junior. He's 5'9", $150 out of Los Angeles. He is fast. He is actually, I believe what I was told is his sprinter times were better than Nolan Saraceni, which is amazing to believe. So we probably have two of the fastest tailbacks in the nation playing against one another here today. So the speed aspect of Boone is something that Montana Tech has not really had to deal with yet this year.
You don't have to go far on the NAIA national statistics to see what these two teams bring to the table. Number one rusher in the nation right now is Nolan Saraceni, averaging 161 yards a game. And if you go down the list 2 or 3 spots, in the 4-hole is Trey Boone from Dickinson State, 1,220 yards this year on the ground. So that's their team's identity. That's what they're going to try and establish. But, again, you can have whoever you want in the backfield. If you're not getting the job done up front, and that's where Montana Tech's been so great defensively, and that's going to be the challenge for this Dickinson State offense is, can they handle Montana Tech up front? Just 2 tackles or 2 ends and a nose tackle up front, but an active linebacker core and a stunt and blitz package that's really a headache to deal with. And if you don't think it's a headache to deal with, there's a guy 65 miles north of here at Carroll College that has struggled to deal with this defensive front, for the most part the last couple of years, but really struggled this year. They're sound. And if you can't get a helmet on them, maintain blocks, and account for fast linebacker play who fill and hit and tackle and don't miss in space, you're going to have a long day trying to showcase your premier tailback.
Well, we're getting ready for the start of this one. We're going to get our national anthem. We'll take a break, and what we feel like we have been talking about since week 3 of this season, we're going to talk about who's playing quarterback.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Arizona in Buttes.
Attention, all ATV, dirt bike, snow, and side-by-side riders. It's the Redline Sports Pre-Black Friday Holiday Sale. Monday through Saturday, November 16th through the 21st, all in-stock apparel and accessories are on sale, and we mean really on sale. These are deals too good to pass up, and make sure you put Redline on your Black Friday schedule. We will have unbelievable doorbusters perfect for the rider on your list. Monday through Saturday, November 16th through the 21st, the Redline Sports Pre-Black Friday Sale. Must-see store for details, only at your home for power sports, Redline Sports in Butte.
Back here once again to Alumni Coliseum and Bob Green Field. Frontier Conference action here on KBOW Butte. Playoff action is Dickinson back in Butte, Montana. Not too far removed. Dickinson was a conference opponent. They played 2 years here in the Frontier Conference. The North Star Conference, which basically the remnants of the DAC-10 reformed, and Dickinson went back to the North Star Conference, and they won that conference this year. 2 losses, one coming in conference, the other loss coming against Rocky Mountain College, as they fell fell 23-13 to Rocky. They beat Northern 17-7 real early on in the year. When you look at both those early games with Rocky and Northern, both of them right out of the gate, they were actually, both those games were in before Montana Tech even played. How much credence or how much weight do you take away from those games against Frontier Conference opponents?
Well, I think to get an idea of what you want to guess is going to happen today, I mean, it's fair to look back at that. But teams change so much throughout the course of a year, via improvement or lack thereof, and injuries. You can take a look back. I think it's clear Dickinson's probably improved a little bit. I think Northern improved a lot, from the start of the year to where they finished the year. But I think it's safe to look back and get a gauge of what you're going to be facing today. But it's playoff energy. Players step up. They had to win a big game last night just to get this, or not last night, excuse me. Last week just to get this opportunity, and they went out and proved that they could beat Dakota State after losing to them earlier in the football season, and so I expect a real competitive game. If I had my wallet out and I had to bet on the game, certainly I'd bet on Montana Tech just through common opponents and making those kind of comparisons, but that's why they play the game on Saturday. You just never know what's going to happen. This is a proud NAIA football tradition. Across the way here at Dickinson State. You can look at the weather today. It's supposed to maybe get up 25, 30 degrees, but it's a nice day, and Dickinson, North Dakota is no stranger to bad weather, so they actually deemed it in a couple of the articles I looked at last night, looking forward to this game as kind of coming to the banana belt because they feel when they get to Butte, they're not going to see much wind. So there you go.
And we have had, we all know the win we have had here the last week. It's been interesting building up to this ball game. I think everybody felt that Dickinson was going to be the week one opponent in the playoff picture. And it's funny seeing how different people react to the playoff pairings, whether it's the former conference opponents or anything along those lines. The one that keeps coming up that I find funny is the 2004 year. 2004, Montana Tech went on the road to Dickinson. We played a playoff game in Dickinson. When you talk about cold days, that's one of the coldest football games I've been involved in. Bill Foley and I are in a shoebox little booth. And we're sitting there with a scraper on the window. We kept fogging the joint up so bad we actually had to scrape our windshield, if you will, that entire contest. But the 2004 game is one that has been coming up an awful lot here as this week has gone on.
Yeah, and that's eons ago. It's you can go back there just to see who won the game, but certainly makes no difference today. These players can tell you what happened between, say, USC and Notre Dame or Florida and Florida State or LSU, Alabama 10 or 11 years ago. But trust me, they've had no history of what happened between Montana Tech and Dickinson State. So, I'm looking forward to a contested, highly competitive game, and I just couldn't be more impressed with this Montana Tech team, top to bottom, coaching staff and players, especially their last two wins of the year. Being down at halftime and coming back, and that defense just smothering their opposing offense in both games and getting the touchdowns required to secure victories in both games. It's amazing what they've done.
So here we go. Dickinson getting ready to kick it off. Left to right on your radio dial, wearing the blue pants, white shirts, silver helmets. Montana Tech going to the gray tops, the white legs, and, of course, the green helmets. Kickoff taken at the 10-yard line, left side. Across the 15, out near the 20 to the 21-yard line. As with the return again is going to be Dion Williams, and Dion with his first return. And we are ready to roll here, and we'll see who is at quarterback. I'd have to think it's going to be Andrew Loudenbach. But again, we never know. As this season has gone on, we just never know. Last week, Dawson Reardon did come in for a couple of series. He did appear to be injured once again, but Loudenbach will bring him out here with the first series.
The first thing I'm anxious to see is whether Dickinson State is a 3-4 or a 4-3 team. And from the preliminary snap here, it looks like they're going to be a 3-4 team, so it's going to be something Montana Tech's seen a ton of this year.
Man coming in motion is Cancela, who had the monster game last week. Handoff is going to go to Nolan Saraceni on first down. Saraceni across the 30, 35 out to the 38-yard line. Welcome to the football game, Nolan Saraceni on the first carry, and he is going to go good for 18 on down number 1.
Yeah, great first snap of the game, and how good does that have to feel to Nolan Saraceni? Really struggled rushing the ball last week against Western. I mean, it was tough sledding, especially between the tackles, and he gets the ball there and sees a little daylight first play of the game. That's got to feel great for the nation's leading rusher.
Andrew Loudon back under center. Saraceni, the tailback, he'll get the carry again. Saraceni bounces to his right, leans forward. He'll pick up 3. As a nice job by Dickinson that time retracing, and the first person to him is going to be Matt McCoy. McCoy, the defensive end out of Plentywood, Montana. He's a senior, 6'2", 220.
Dickinson State switching to a 4-man surface that time. A true 4-3 look. So it looks like Montana Tech's going to probably get a dose of a couple different fronts today. Both Montana Tech has seen, but I think Tech's more comfortable against that 3-4 scheme.
Second down, and we'll say 6 officially. As under center, Saraceni will get the carry again. He has blockers out in front. Nolan out to the 45. Stiff arm shoved out of bounds to the 43 as Nolan Saraceni is going to go good for 14. That'll be 1st and 10 Montana Tech at the Dickinson 43-yard line.
Yeah, shoved out of bounds there by Vandenbush. But, good numbers to the dead T side, the tight end side there for that Montana Tech offense. Western, again, lines up in a 4-3 defense and has both safeties walked over the top of that 3-man side for Montana Tech. A lot of running room for that offense of Montana Tech off the dead T side.
Saraceni to the bench. Winfield is in at tailback. He comes to the left side. He'll get the carry. Winfield across the 40, head down. Football comes out. Dickinson gets it. Did he go down before the football came out? I don't believe that's the case. Dickinson has this football as Winfield will cough it up at the 35-yard line. And the Blue Hawks will get the first turnover of the afternoon as they'll take over on their 35-yard line.
Yeah, primarily a lead back, Winfield is, and we have seen him cough the ball up earlier this season. Usually a pretty reliable runner, but he has fumbled earlier this season, and that time just, another case of inside zone out of the backfield and a lot of running room up the middle there for Winfield. And he almost, I'm not going to say he didn't know how to react to it, but he was 8 yards downfield and it looked like a defender from behind got that ball punched out. And a tough break for that Tech offense, but they did show the ability to move the ball early on.
Kaler Ray is in at quarterback. He is a tall drink of water, 6'5", 230. He'll hand it off, and the first carry of the ball game will go to the left side and break in daylight midfield, and it looks like Trey Boone's out down the sideline as he's to the edge across the 15 down to the 9-yard line. Welcome Trey Boone into the contest as Boone will take off all the way inside the 10-yard line. We were talking about the speed of Trey Boone. He goes on sweep motion out on the edge, and he is off to the races.
That's your personnel really knowing what you bring to the table at tailback. He bounced that outside, and his receiver, David Meese, had it contained, but the receiver ended up cracking back on Meese, allowing Boone to turn the corner, and then it's just a foot race.
Boone takes off, gets a monster carry, first down and goal from the 9-yard line here for the Blue Hawks. Once again, Kaler Ray, a quarterback, 6'5", 230. Boone in the tailback behind him. Boone is a speedster, 5'9", $150. Looks like he's about half the height of his quarterback. Boone, quarterback keeper, and he is going to get nothing, going to lose a yard as Kaler Ray keeps it himself. He'll lose a yard, bring up second and goal from the 10.
Yeah, and that's Meese walked up there at outside linebacker. Again, looking at zone, inside zone read. Meese is just so disciplined, so assignment conscious there. Just slow plays that inside zone read fake with the quarterback and swallowed it up. Really well defended by Montana Tech there. After giving up the big play,
Second and goal from the 10. 2 receivers left, one to the right. They're going to set up a wing on the left side as well with Boone the deep back. Ray looking at a 5-man defensive front. Now they back out a 4-man front. Boone will get the carry, bounces it left. He is hammered at the line of scrimmage, nothing there. Yeah, Boone has stood up and deposited, third down and goal.
And that's Levi Dawes in there at defensive end. We saw Luke Benz last week, the starting defensive end for Montana Tech, who had 2 big sacks in that game last week. Pretty close to the end of the game, he was helped off the field with a leg injury. And Dawes, who I kind of forgot about, and who had a really good game last week. Dawes did too. That's a nice replacement for that Tech defensive front to get an experienced Dawes in there.
Third down and goal from the 10-yard line. Ray out of the shotgun, trying to bring the hard count across the line. He looks to the sideline for the play call. 3 receivers right, 1 left. And Boone the lone back. Play clock is at 4. Ray awaiting the snap, gets it, looking to his left the whole way. Crossing route, and there defensively, what a play on the far side. Xavier Marsden reaches in and knocks that into the grass.
Yeah, press man coverage there to the solo side, and that's Dickinson State's Perry Cruz just trying to run the slant, but Marsden was all over it. And how good has this defensive been from Montana Tech after big plays, quick changes on the field? Yep. It tells you they play everything play by play. A great stop down there at the 10-yard line, forcing the field goal try.
So Dickinson will bring the field goal unit in. It'll be a 27-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Snap a little high. He's able to bring it down, and they knock it through. So Dickinson gets on the board first as they hit a 27-yard field goal, and the Blue Hawks up over Montana Tech with 11-11 left to play here in the opening quarter. Dickinson is on the board first off of the turnover. We'll take a break. Montana Tech will get it back after this 1-minute break.
The dirt road to my house is accessible. Check. Nothing is obstructing my propane tank. Check. Debris and dirt, it's cleared away. Check. Now that everything's good to go with my propane.
My name is John Wick. I am a graphic designer as well as a teacher and executive director, and I wear a whole lot of other hats. I basically want to drink coffee and make really cool things. My experience at Tech really gave me the confidence to say, well, I can go out and do that stuff. Montana Tech really legitimized and helped me develop the skills that I didn't even really know that I had. Montana Tech was my solution.
Field NAIA playoffs here in Butte, Montana. The first home game for Montana Tech in the playoffs since 1997. They have, of course, had the playoff games. Tech and Dickinson met in 2004 in Dickinson in a frigid day over there. Very windy conditions. Dickinson won that ball game, and then I believe Carroll was their next opponent in Dickinson, and I think Carroll won that football game in 04.
Yes.
And then 05, we were down to Azusa as Montana Tech was in the playoffs at Azusa Pacific. We flew down and were able to call that ball game, and then Montana Tech with the win at Azusa came back to Carroll in 05. And then just a few years ago in 2012, Montana Tech and head coach Chuck Morrell were in the playoffs as they started at Morningside in 2012. So,
getting back to that first offensive play by Dickinson State, the big run by Boone off the left side. How about the play by D'Angelo Bell, the far side corner? He doesn't give up on the play, and he takes a good angle, and he intercepts Boone at the 10-yard line, and Dickinson never gained another yard. That's a huge play. I mean, those are the kind of plays that, they save touchdowns. They won't be talked about, but that's a great play.
End over end kick taken at the 15-yard line. Montana Tech setting up the return. Bunny across the 30, out to the 35, 40 to the 43-yard line. Zach Bunny with another nice return, and Montana Tech looking at 1st and 10 from the 43.
Having a real nice year returning kickoffs. Zach Bunny, the Butte High product, and staying with it there. Boy, he's had a great year. He's averaging 26 yards per return this year, and of course the big touchdown, the 95-yarder that he had against Eastern Oregon, I believe.
I believe it was Eastern Oregon.
Against Eastern Oregon, but having a really nice year back there, and it's a credit to him as a return guy, but those other 10 guys out there securing blocks for him.
Montana Tech with their opening possession fumbled at the Dickinson 35. Nolan Saracini back in at tailback. He spins through the 45 across midfield to the Dickinson 47-yard line, a gain of 10, and that will move the chains, and Nolan again, he gets up, not moving that left arm much.
Yeah, he's certainly buried in ice after every game. He's had some left shoulder issues earlier this year, but I tell you what, he's having a nice day early on here in Dickinson that time, in an odd front that time, but they were reduced down at the end, and they walked up both outside linebackers, similar to now, a 5-man surface.
1st down and 10. Saracini with a carry across the 45 down near the 43. He'll pick up 5 as the Montana Tech offensive front gets out and pushes some bodies around downfield.
It's really early in this game, but you can see a real dominance up front here by that Montana Tech offensive line. They're getting the blocks to get their feature tailback a lot of yards today. A lot of yards. I mean, there's going to have to be some adjustments made.
Andrew Loudon back out of the shotgun. Saracini with the carry. Bounces right across the 40, 35, down near the 34. So a gain of 7 for Nolan Saracini as his yardage keeps stacking up.
One thing you have to remember here, Tech's in the shotgun. and it's zone and zone read that they're running so far this game. The one thing you have to remember is Montana Tech is essentially not a huge threat to throw the football. Now, they've made some big plays in the games throwing the football. That's because of the efforts to stop the run. I mean, everybody on the planet knows where this ball's going, and Dickinson's unable to stop Montana Tech early.
Clay Cavender will come in at quarterback running the Wildcat. He'll hand it off to Hunter Gapmeyer. Gapmeyer clears the edge across the 30. Hunter, the young man from Bozeman, down to the 26-yard line. So Gapmeyer will get himself 9. I had an opportunity to do the Billings Senior Bozeman, so you have Nolan Saraceni, who, of course, was a legend down to senior, and the great job that Hunter Gapmeyer has done in Bozeman. Those two teams played for the state title last night in Bozeman. And, boy, you can't stop talking about the impact that those young men have had on this program here at Montana Tech, and Gapmeyer and Nolan Saraceni.
Yeah, congratulations out to Coach Troy Purcell and his staff getting another state championship there at Bozeman.
2nd down and 9, and Clay Cavender clears the edge. 20-15, 10-5, touchdown Montana Tech. Clay Cavender fakes the handoff, and he is off to the races. Clay Cavender gets the first touchdown on the board here this afternoon, and Montana Tech grabs the lead 6-3. They have not thrown a pass yet, as Nolan Saraceni, 6 carries for 58 yards. Gapmeyer 1 for 9, and Clay Cavender with that run gets the first touchdown of the afternoon.
They may not have to throw a pass. That's just zone read off the right side. Cavender pulls it out of his tailback's belly, and Dickinson's so conscious of getting kind of run over here early in this football game, has to put everybody's attention on the tailback. Cavender pulls it out, and it's literally a walk into the end zone.
So Matty Berg will attempt the PAT. 6-3 our score. 9 minutes left to play here in the opening quarter, as Matty Berg will knock it through, and Montana Tech goes up 7-3. The Digs up over Dickinson here on KBOW, and somehow, someway, somebody let Chris Opie near a computer, as he just sent us a message. He's listening down to Salt Lake City, so I'm guessing his wife must have set up the computer for him.
Oh, you betcha. Good to hear from Chris Opie. I hope his tattoo's doing well there on his. I know it's on his rear end, but I can't tell. I can't remember which cheek. I never spent a lot of time in the locker room when I coached, but that's dedication, boy. That is dedication.
7-3 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Dickinson. Remember, Southern Oregon, another Frontier Conference member, is in action tonight as they are hosting a football game. I believe 6 o'clock Oregon time is when their game is coming up later on tonight.
I should have bought the pass when I went online and watched the Montana Tech Southern Oregon game down there a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I should have got the pass for the whole year. I just bought it one game at a time, but that might be worth tuning in. Kansas Wesleyan's quarterback is averaging, I think, about 350 yards a game throwing the football this year. So, that'd be a good test for Southern Oregon. Yeah, I mean, you just never know what you're going to get. An explosive offensive team like Kansas Wesleyan. I mean, if they come in clicking on all cylinders, it could be a big day for that offense.
We get so pro-Frontier, and we talk about how hard our conference is all the time, and it's at times you want to discount what other conferences are doing, but then you see guys coming together and putting things together on a football field. You realize that there's good football being played around the nation.
Especially when you get into the top 8 or the top 4 in the country, there's a lot of good football players, coaching staffs, guys that are really doing it right. And frankly, there's a lot of guys that are coaching in big-time programs on Saturdays that got their head coaching feet wet in NAIA football, and it's nice to run into those guys, that remember the good old days. It's kind of like McElwain talking about Bozeman or MSU and the U of M rivalry this week.
Kickoff taken about 3 yards deep, and they will take it out of the end zone. That is Evenuk, and Evenuk will get across the 15, and he'll get out to the 19, and that's where they will start. So Seth Evenuk, a sophomore out of North Dakota, with the return. And Dickinson will take over at their 19-yard line.
Yeah, good play. Connor Wines covering the kick there off the right side. Got through his blocker. And just a hand, more or less just put a paw on the return guy. And as he tried to cut, went down to the ground inside the 20-yard line.
Again, thanks for joining us on KBOW and online at KBOW550.net as Diggers around the nation joining us here on a Saturday. Man in motion, one back at home, and the handoff will go to the tailback as they try and clear the edge. Not much there as Moore has stood up and delivered at the 21, a pickup of 2 as he is met violently out on the edge by David Meese.
Hats off to Trey Boone on that first run he had from scrimmage today, the big long gainer off the left side. But I tell you what he did, he may have awoke a sleeping giant in the Montana Tech defense, getting hats to the ball there off the inside zone off the right side, and they let him know about it when they got him to the ground.
2nd down and 8. 2 backs now with 3 receivers out. Montana Tech, we'll see what kind of pressure they bring on the quarterback here as this day continues. Kayla Ray is a big boy. He has rolling out of the pocket, right-handed throw. Downfield pass is leading his receiver a little too much, falls incomplete. It's on the far side. It looks like Perry Cruz was the intended target. Perry Cruz, 5'10", $170, out of Honolulu, Hawaii.
Fortunately for this Tech defense, something they've seen a lot of in the last couple weeks. Southern Oregon, of course, running a ton of rollout pass against them down there in Ashland, and University of Montana Western ran a bunch of it and some sprint draw against them. So they're used to, especially in the last few weeks, seeing quarterbacks and offensive fronts trying to roll the edge, and they're doing a good job of run blitzing or going lateral and pressuring the quarterback.
Boy, Montana Tech, the safeties crept up. They look like they're coming. Now they'll back out in coverage. Ray looking to throw. Pump fake once. He's hit as he delivers, and it falls incomplete. Ray was hit hard. Montana Tech got great pressure from Tyler Sanders. Sanders hit Ray as he let go of it. It's overthrown incomplete. Dickinson will bring in the punting unit.
It was nice of head coach Chuck Morrell to highlight in this week's Montana Standard what Tyler Sanders has done at nose tackle this year for this defense. Not a real question mark for the Montana Tech defense going in this year, but I don't know that they were as confident at nose tackle as the play they've gotten this year between Sanders and Areno there at nose tackle has provided for this defense. He's had an exceptional year.
So Trey Boone's first run went for 56 yards. His next 2 have gone for 1 apiece. And on 4th and 8, Dickinson will punt it away. Montana Tech got pressure. Nice kick as it goes over the head of Bray. He'll field it at the 18-yard line. He'll bring it up the right side. Across the 20, 25 out to the 30. Good block, 40. Midfield, and he cuts back to the right side, shoved out of bounds at the Dickinson 43-yard line. Great return by Alec Bray on a monster punt. And Montana Tech will get great field position as he reverses field and gets across midfield to the Dickinson 43.
Good job by Anthony Nelson. He was trying to get a block to spring Bray off the right side, and his only chance would have been a block in the back, but he got his hands off. He raised his hands there and let Bray do the work, knowing his receiver had the speed to turn the corner against this cover team, and a nice return by Alec Bray.
1st down and 10, Montana Tech with great field position at the Dickinson 43-yard line. Montana Tech has run 9 offensive plays for 101 yards. Saraceni has 58 of it. Under center is Andrew Loudenback. Saraceni the lone back. Loudenback's going to throw. Has time downfield. Come back complete inside the 30. Shoved out of bounds at the 27 is Bray on the button hook. He made a tremendous move out on the edge. The corner actually lost his cleats, and Bray grabs it, hauls it in. 1st and 10, Montana Tech.
Yeah, play action pass in the backfield, and Bray showing a go route there off the right side, and he got his cornerback completely turned, snapped off that sideline route. A pretty easy throw and catch for Loudenback for Montana Tech's first not only completion of the game, but pass attempt of the game.
Bray will check out of the ball game for a moment. Keaton is in for him all the way up top. 2 receivers on that right side. Tight ends both move over to the left and get reset. And under center, Andrew Loudenback. He'll hand it off to Nolan Saraceni. He'll run behind that green wave out in front of him. Saraceni, 25-20. Down the sideline, shoved out of bounds at the 15. Nolan Saraceni, he'll get 13 on 1st down.
Yeah, they're stretching and pulling that time. Jalen Whitley, the big offensive guard, pulling out ahead of Saraceni. I mean, even Whitley turned the corner and was probably 8 yards downfield before he had to even put a hat on a guy.
1st down and 10 here for Montana Tech. Nolan Saraceni will actually line up in the slot on the left.
Excuse me, that's the center pulling. You don't see much of that.
And Saraceni will now come into the backfield, and he play action. They're going to set up the screen on the inside. They wanted middle screen to Zach Bunny, and Dickinson had gotten pressure far enough inside that it falls incomplete as Bunny had no chance catching that football.
Loudenback there at quarterback really got a little too big of a hurry there. anxious to get the ball dumped off on the screenplay, but you have to let those screenplays develop. You've got to show a pass set and then trickle back in the backfield, and Loudenbach was just in a little too big of a hurry to get that screen completed.
Cavender in to run the Wildcat. He'll play action, keeps it himself. He's inside the 15, still on his feet to the 12. Clay Cavender showing those great moves as he'll pick himself up 5 on second down, bring up 3rd and 5 for Montana Tech as they'll change out personnel again.
Clay Cavender's never had a 1-yard run.
No.
Even if he gains 1 yard from scrimmage, it's usually 5, 6, 10, 15 yards, side to side, back and forth, change of direction. He does a lot of things before he gets going north-south. He's just a headache to try and come up and tackle in the backfield.
3 receivers bunched up left. Martinez comes in motion. He'll get the ball in the fly motion on the edge. Tries to find a little bit of a gap, and he'll get down to the 10. Not much more. Saraceni was blocking out in front of him. Dickinson just had bodies. Saraceni was the only blocker on that end, and there were 3 white jerseys out there.
We'll see what Montana Tech's going to do on 4th and 4 here. They haven't ran the kicker out on the field yet.
Offense is coming out as back in at quarterback Andrew Loudenbach looks to the sidelines. Trying to even find Matty Berg on the sideline to see if he was coming in, but I couldn't even spot him.
Well, this is no dig on the kicking game. The kicking game's been really sound.
Phenomenal.
This is an offense that really believes that they can handle whatever Dickinson State puts up front and go get this 4 yards.
4th down at 4. Loudenbach under center. Nolan Saraceni, the tailback. 9 guys in the box. Saraceni will get the carry, bounces it to his left, inside the 10, down near the 6. And he has first down yardage. That's going to be 1st and goal as he needed the 7. He gets to the 6. Saraceni with a great second effort on the edge will move the chains.
Yeah, and that's 5 guys at the line of scrimmage. Everybody knowing pretty much, what Montana Tech had in mind there. You just have to believe that they lined up there with 4 yards to go and saying, hey, we can get this with our tailback. And Saraceni and his offensive front still able to pick up the first down.
Loudenbach under center, 1st and goal from the 6. Cancela goes in motion. Saraceni will get the carry. Nolan gets inside the 5. He's down to about the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. Montana Tech, 15 offensive plays, 136 yards thus far. Nolan Saraceni has 8 carries for 74.
Yeah, a little better job defensively by Dickinson State. Of course, now with their back against the goal line, able to walk safeties down a little tighter to the line of scrimmage and focus a little more between the tackles, knowing that the inside zone has kind of annihilated your defense early on here.
2nd down and goal from the 3. Saraceni, the lone back, Andrew Loudenbach under center. And it looks like Loudenbach changing the play as he steps up under center. 2 receivers to his right, and now Dickinson's going to call a timeout. So the Blue Hawks want a timeout with it. We'll take one. 4:18 left to play here in this opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 7-3. They're knocking on the door. We're back right after this 1-minute timeout.
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
At Montana Tech, I matter. And students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
My name is Shani Spangian. I am Northern Cheyenne and Crow, and Montana Tech was my solution in a lot of ways. I've been working for the Northern Cheyenne tribe for 9 years. I want to make sure I'm doing meaningful research for my community. Montana Tech is a great place. It allowed me to really design my own program. A lot of accommodations were made for my family. I am here with my daughter. Montana Tech is my solution.
Back here once again to Alumni Coliseum at Bob Green Field. NAIA playoffs on KBOW Butte. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday. As here we go. Nolan Saraceni will take the direct snap. Martinez in motion. Saraceni keeps it. Right side. Touchdown Montana Tech. Nolan Saraceni gets in for the score.
Yeah, that's fly sweep to Martinez crossing the field. The first time they ran it, Dickinson actually contained it pretty well. That time Saraceni's at quarterback. They run the same motion, fake it to Martinez off the right side, and nobody.
And one of Nolan Saraceni's best fake handoffs of the year so far, I might add. I actually followed Martinez for a second.
The ball was on the hip. You know, he actually reached the hip and rode him for a step.
4:14 left to play here in the first quarter. 13-3 our score. Montana Tech up by 10. as they're going to snap it. They're going to put up the 2-point attempt out on the left side, trying to get numbers to the goal line, and it's going to come up short. We've seen Montana Tech fake this an awful lot this year. They did, I want to say, 3 times against Northern in the opener. They have several times throughout the year, and they're unable to get in for the 2-point conversion. Montana Tech leading 13-3. 4:14 left to play here in this first quarter. Dickinson will get it back after this 1-minute timeout.
Say, look at that reindeer eating a burrito. I like the winter time 'cause there's no mosquitoes.
Who am I kidding? You can't beat a classic.
So what we want to do at Montana Tech is we want to put more students on that extraordinary path.
We take our students out of the classroom into the field.
Montana Tech promotes problem solvers, not problem makers.
They're able to adapt to pretty much any situation.
At Montana Tech, our students graduate and they go to work. They live the American dream. By supporting the Montana Tech Foundation, they're helping us put more students on that extraordinary path.
On that successful hunting trip, stop by Town Pump. The Hunter's Sack Lunch Special is just $7, medium coffee $1.20. Town Pump, celebrating more than 60 years of serving in Montana and giving back to the communities that we live in.
Back here once again to Alumni Coliseum as Bob Greenfield, Matty Berg getting ready for the kickoff. Deep, about a yard deep, and the return will set up the middle, across the 10, 15, 20, out across the 20, near the 23-yard line.
Good play by Siderius, containing over here. He's the only guy here, but he didn't even look threatened, did he?
No.
He took on a lead blocker, a real comfortable stance, and just kind of challenged the return man, saying, you got a lead blocker ahead of you, but he's going to do no damage here. Looks like we might have an offsides here by Montana Tech.
Yeah, flag back deep. It was interesting. Like I say, it looked like, honestly, the return man had some yardage here on the near side, and Siderius blows it up. There is a flag down. We'll see what the officials bring out here. Get the call from our white hat.
Kicking team number 32. 5-yard.
Boy, Montana Tech has a lot of good safeties. I'm looking, of course, Gunlickson a couple weeks ago in practice before the Western game was injured, and it was a lower foot injury and a partially torn ACL, I believe. But, after talking to him in the tailgate. But then you've got Hanich, Gunnar Kaiser, Will Davey, and Reed Siderius. I mean, they're loaded at safety. They got 5 guys they'll play at safety on any snap of downs or any situation.
Kayla Ray is 0-3 so far at quarterback. Deep pitch will go out to Boone. Boone finds a little bit of a seam. He's across the 30 to the 32, a gain of 4. So Boone will get the carry. That's his 4th of the afternoon. His first carry of the day went for 56 yards.
That's Meese getting across the line of scrimmage up there, taking on the lead blockers, forcing the edge, forcing Boone to turn it up, and not only does he come up and force, he's able to shed the blocker and make the tackle.
2nd and 7, Ray out of the shotgun as Dickinson looks to the sideline. You certainly know things are different when you look at Dickinson and they have 3 receivers and they're taken out of the shotgun with 1 back. Ray will hand it off to Boone. Boone across the line of scrimmage. He'll bully his way out to the 35. That'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3.
I like the thinking there. They've tried Boone on the edge, more stretch-type plays, stretch or hand sweep. That time just going inside zone off the right side, just more of a slam-bam play.
And especially in that scenario, Dickinson's offensive front is big. It's a big offensive front. Their quarterback big, and Boone is a tiny little thing. So when that offensive front stands up, when they get into blocking, Boone is awful tough to spot back there behind those big bodies.
Yeah, I mean, clear back in like the mid-'80s when Paul Petrino was quarterback in Carroll, it was the same thing. We couldn't find him back there. I mean, we couldn't find him. He was roughly Boone's dimensions.
3rd down and 3. They move fullback in motion as Ray dropping back, looking to throw, looking for the deep ball downfield. It comes out wounded. It's up and not caught at the 30. The receiver went up, got both hands on it. He had a good look at it that time. Austin Brown was a receiver, and the way he came down with the football, he almost looked like he was a secondary guy throwing it to the turf.
D'Angelo Bell made a great play on it, stayed on top of the receiver the whole time, and almost center fielded it back there, but the difference in the height, you look at Brown at 6'5", 210, and D'Angelo Bell at 5'9", 170, they just had a different angle to go up there at high point. Brown had a good chance to make the big completion and just drop the ball.
2:35 left to play here in this quarter. As the shield unit is out for Dickinson, Montana Tech will get pressure again, but he's able to get rid of it. Caught at the 30, and he'll be taken down there.
Really good coverage that time. Taking on a lead blocker.
Dylan Scabo out there.
Dylan Scabo taking on the lead blocker and able to make the tackle on Bray, who had a nice return on the previous chance.
So Bray with no gain on the return. Montana Tech will take over at the 30-yard line. 2:27 left to play here in the opening quarter. Montana Tech up 13-3. And the Digs come up to the line of scrimmage. It looks like we are going to see Wildcat here on first down as Clay Cavender, the senior, will bring him up. Cavender has Bunny in the backfield with him, it looks like. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Dickinson creeps 5 guys up to the defensive front. Now Montana Tech will shift. They'll put almost 3 tight ends left. Cavender out of the shotgun. He's going to run over to that tight end heavy side, gets a pulling block in front. Cavender trying to get to the edge, and nothing there. Nice job by Dickinson keeping bodies out in front of that big green wave.
Yeah, real good job. Thomas Seif, sophomore outside linebacker, 6'3", 200-pounder out of Bismarck. He had to take on a load. That's just quarterback sweep. They're leading 2 tight ends. They're pulling offensive linemen out there, and he's got to force the edge, and he had every chance to get blocked or knocked down, but he stayed on his feet, kept fighting, and strung that play all the way to the sideline.
Second down and 11 here for Montana Tech. 1 back, 3 receivers. Busted play. Loudenback is going to keep it as he and Saraceni ran into one another. And as they tried to figure out who should have the football, Dickinson got pressure, a loss of 2 on the carry. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long here for Montana Tech. That's the first time we've seen really a busted play in the backfield for Montana Tech in a really long time.
Yeah, just a mishandled snap. Loudenback anxious to zone read it off the left side to the tailback Saraceni, who's having a great day. Just mishandled it, and then they did a 2-man juggling act there for a second while they were tugged down in the backfield.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 13. Andrew Loudenback dropping back, looking to throw. Has the middle slant route to Cavender, and it is there's a collision at midfield. Now we have a late flag as Cavender hit the turf. The corner man came up over the top going after the football, put Cavender to the turf.
Yeah, Vandenbush came up to make a play on the ball. Cavender was open if the ball would have been thrown a little shorter or shallower, but Vandenbush, in his effort to come make a play on the ball, ran over Cavender and then made the play on the ball. So they may pick this up.
They did. They picked it up as Coach Morrell comes flying out to talk to the official. As they do wave the flag.
Play was legal. 4th down.
So that'll bring up 4th down here for Montana Tech.
You know, it's a call, and I don't even know where the rule stands, but Vandenbush came up, knocked Cavender down on his way to the ball. He knocked Cavender down before he actually went up to make a play on the ball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not like he was airborne and went through Cavender. He wasn't even airborne yet.
So with 1:11 left to play here in the opening quarter, Montana Tech will be forced to punt it away. High kick, ton of air under it. Fair catch called for and brought in at the 36-yard line. So a fair catch brought into the 36, and Dickinson will take over offensively. Dickinson thus far, 10 offensive plays, 64 yards. And remember, 56 of that came on the first carry of the football game.
You know, Montana Tech will recognize how they played that, because Dickinson State's doing a nice job with their safety staying deeper than the deepest and playing everything from the top down. They'll recognize that and just, they'll just talk to Loudenback, say, just short throw it a little bit, and receiver get ready to react to a shorter ball, and they'll be able to catch up ball kind of in the dig area, 15, 20 yards downfield in the middle of the field. You can make that adjustment just knowing how Dickinson's going to stay on top of everything.
Kayla Ray sends man in motion, trips receivers left, 1 to the right. Boone will get the carry. Boone clears the edge, and he is hit hard at the 38-yard line, a gain of 2. As a good job by Montana Tech stemming down the line of scrimmage and getting out to the edge.
Hanich is getting a lot of safety play here in the last couple weeks. A lot of it probably has to do with Gunlickson being out, but you also can pick your spots at safety on who's better against maybe a pass-heavy team and who's better against a run-heavy team. And just watching the way Hanich plays, he looks like a run-fill guy, doesn't he? I mean, he really works downhill well, runs well side to side, and he came up and met Trey Boone in the back, or not in the backfield, but for a short gain.
Boone lines up in the pistol. He'll get the carry. Bounces it left. He has a seam. He's across midfield, 40, 30, down near the 25-yard line, and he is hit at the 20. So Boone gets himself another big run down to the Montana Tech 20-yard line, as again D'Angelo Bell forced to track him down, but not before Boone gets good yardage down to the Montana Tech 20.
Well blocked up front that time. That's just isolation, a lead back isolation off the left side. And, you know, we talk about it all the time. Be patient against good defenses. 1 and 2 yard gains. Eventually trust your offense. You're going to get some runs to pop. You can see, I mean, Dickinson, a Stanton-led team isn't going to give up on running the football, and you're going to get your opportunities for Trey Boone in the open field.
We have 15 minutes in the books. Montana Tech leading 13-3. Dickinson knocking on the door. We'll get the second quarter underway right after this 1-minute timeout.
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
Montana Tech was my solution.
Students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
This is where Montana happens, where fires can leave a lifetime of memories in ashes, where heavy rains can sink an entire town, where a wall of ice can bury a quiet neighborhood in an instant. And this is where you turn for up-to-the-minute conditions, for the most accurate forecasting, and for the information you need to help you and your family stay safe. NBC Montana is alerting you to severe weather danger.
On KBOW Butte as we get the second quarter ready to roll here on a Saturday. First round of the NAIA playoffs, the first home game for Montana Tech in the playoffs since 1997. Paul Ladke and Mark Jensen, two members of that football team that year in 97, had the coin toss before this football game. I believe Ladke actually coming up to chat with us at halftime.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah, it was good to see Paul down. They took off for this morning from Gillette. Him and Jacob Streitz, and made the road trip over. So, yeah, it's nice to see all those former great Orediggers in the tailgate enjoying, the game day atmosphere and getting behind this team.
First down and 10 here for Dickinson. 2 receivers left, one to the right. And Ray at quarterback. Thus far, he's 0-4 throwing the ball. He'll deep pitch to Boone. Boone tries to get to the edge. Stiff arm, and he is rode out of bounds. As Boone will get to the 21, so actually he'll lose a yard, bring up second down and 11.
His first look at Trey Boone's kind of fun, isn't it? He's an exciting back. He isn't, he is not very big. 5'9", $150. But I tell you what, he runs hard. He's had his opportunities on ISO and inside zone so far, and of course when he turns the corner and gets out to run, and so far Montana Tech's only had one guy kind of run him down, and that's their star cornerback, D'Angelo Bell.
Second down and 11. Ray out of the shotgun, Boone on his right side. As Dickinson at the line of scrimmage, they send Slot in motion, and he will get the ball as Evenuk will try and make his way to the edge, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So Evenuk on the fly motion will get the carry, and that is going to be a slight loss, bring up 3rd and 12 here for Dickinson.
Well, that answered my question on what Sam Hanich is doing playing so much safety. He came up and took on the chop block there on the edge and just erased it. Stayed on his feet, forced Evenuk to cut inside and was able to aid on the tackle, but really contained the play nicely.
So 3rd down and a long 11. Ray out of the shotgun, one back. 3 receivers left, one to the right. Boone is not in at tailback, as Ray is 0-4 throwing the football here today. 3-step drop, looking left, checks it off. Ray gets hit as he delivers, and it's tipped and dropped incomplete. Montana Tech had a shot at intercepting that thing, and Ray took himself a shot as he let go of that football game.
Well, Geyser made a good break on it from on top, but the ball got tipped closer to the line of scrimmage, and it threw Kaiser's timing off, and Kaiser was able to get a hand on it also, but kind of a missed opportunity. It looked like Kaiser had a beat on the ball, and once it got tipped, it kind of threw off his timing.
Dickinson will attempt a field goal here as they will put the ball down at the 28-yard line, right hash mark. 38-yard attempt for the Blue Hawks. They trail 13-3. 13:40 left to play here in the second quarter. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up and pulled it left. Way left, no good.
Got a flag down
Yeah, I was going
here?
to say that we have a flag here on the near side, it looks like. And it looks like Dickinson's going to get another go at it in a shorter field.
Offside. Defense number 4.
Montana Tech is called with an offsides.
Replay, 4th down.
So it is. It still will be 4th down and about 7, somewhere in that vicinity. But Dickinson will get another field goal attempt here, as Montana Tech is called for offsides.
They're marching the wrong way.
So now they decide which way to go. They get her down to the 16-yard line. So that should be put down at about the 23, 22 it looks like they'll put her down. So a 32-yard attempt this time.
Montana Tech's getting pretty good pressure off the edge. It's just so hard to come from outside to block a field goal. So many of them come right up the gut.
So they'll give it another go. 33-yard attempt, right hash mark. Dickinson missed the first attempt from 38 out. They'll get a shot from 33 after the penalty. Snap and hold are good. The kick is blocked. It hits the turf, and it will be down at the 20-yard line. So Montana Tech gets the block, and they will take over at the 20-yard line.
I think that one came up the middle, didn't it?
That one came up the middle. 13:30 left to play here in this first half. Montana Tech leading by 10. And Montana Tech's offense will give it another go. Dickinson, 15 offensive plays, 107 yards. So get this. As it stands right now, Dickinson has 107 yards of total offense, and Trey Boone has 108 yards rushing. So first down and 10 here for Montana Tech. The Digs have run 20 offensive plays for $141. Saraceni with 81. And they're going to run split backs. Clay Cavender will run the Wildcat. He'll keep it himself, bounces it out to his right. Actually, it's Bunny. Bunny out near the 23. So Zach Bunny with the quarterback keeper, as he has run that Wildcat here the last several weeks. The big one I look at him out of the Wildcat was the Southern game. Southern Oregon was not prepared for Zach Bunny to run the Wildcat in that game out in Ashland, and he had a couple of big plays out of it.
You can get some tendencies against this Montana Tech offense just by personnel in the backfield. But, again, they play so many guys on a rotating basis at quarterback, it's tough to plan against.
Clay Cavender hands it off to Saraceni. Saraceni 30, 35, 40 down the sideline, midfield. Saraceni out of bounds at the Dickinson 48-yard line. So Saraceni will go good for 32. Montana Tech 1st and 10. They ran the full house backfield that time as they had 3 guys in the backfield. Clay Cavender handed it off to Saraceni. All the motion went to the right. Handoff went to the left, and Saraceni's off to the races.
There's nothing like the challenge as a opposing tailback, watching the other team's tailback get loose a couple times, getting an opportunity to showcase your speed and talent over, or down the sideline, and Saraceni really lit the lamp there.
First down and 10, Montana Tech, and they're going to run double pass. Sullivan looking to throw. Sean Sullivan will air it up downfield, has a man, cancel at the 10, down to the 5-yard line.
That's Bo Riley Pearson, I believe, yeah.
Okay. So Sean Sullivan on the double pass will air it up downfield as he gets down inside the 10. And that is Bo Riley Pearson. So Bo Riley Pearson hauls it in. He's down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Montana Tech from the 5.
Nice to see Bo Riley Pearson get a chance to catch a football. They originally wanted to go to the wide side here to Bray, and Sullivan got stood up here in his attempt to look that way and had to change direction. But Bo Riley Pearson, his 3rd catch of the year. He's so integral in that running attack of Montana Tech's offense.
1st and goal. Saraceni will take the direct snap, trying to find some running room, and there's nothing there. Dickinson gets bodies to him. No gain for Saraceni. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Nothing worse at tailback. I never played the position, but I just, after talking to so many years, there's nothing worse than getting running 5, 10, 15 yards snap after snap and not seeing what you like at the line of scrimmage because you expect it to be there, an open gap to the end zone, and you can see Saraceni going, what, no hole? So he had to change direction, just not much going on there.
2nd and goal from the 4. Out of the shotgun is Clay Cavender. Saraceni on the right side. Cavender fakes the handoff, rolls out of the pocket right, getting pressured, and pump fake once. He'll cut back to the left, spins at the 2. And he gets down near the 1-yard line.
He wasn't down, and he came down and landed on
his head
on number 6, Thomas Cece, and tried to do a somersault over his body into the end zone.
Cece got a handful of his helmet down at the bottom of it. And as you can see, Cavender out there kind of shaking his head trying to get the helmet to sit right. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal just inside the 2. Saraceni, the lone back for Clay Cavender. Ball comes out. Saraceni dives on it at the 1. As the handoff, the ball popped out.
Saraceni was probably a little surprised that Cavender left the ball in his gut that time, because so often, especially in the last 3 or 4 games, Cavender's pulled that ball out on the goal line and ran the zone keep himself.
So Matty Berg will come in for the field goal attempt. They'll mark it at the 9-yard line, a 19-yard attempt from the right hash mark. Montana Tech gets down to the 5, unable to pound it into the end zone, so Berg will come in for the field goal attempt. And Matty Berg, one of the 13 seniors here on this roster, will look to knock her through. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and he swats it through. 16-3, Montana Tech with the lead over Dickinson here on KBOW Butte. Dickinson will get it back after this 1-minute break.
Hey Butte, it's
Montana Tech's reputation is they do provide hardworking, practical, resourceful graduates.
It's amazing to me that we have 6 kids in this family that grew up on a farm, small ranch. We all turned out to be engineers.
Yeah, it's been pretty significant. I mean, there's all 6 of us kids have gone there and gotten degrees.
This is probably the best family you'll ever meet. Very rare you'll see a family of 6 engineers and married to engineers. So there's a bloodline there that's pretty rare.
My great-grandparents, all of their children attended Tech and graduated with degrees. Montana Tech, it felt more like a family, and they really wanted.
Back here once again to Bob Green Field, Alumni Coliseum, Frontier Conference football here on your hometown station, KBOW Butte. First round of the NAIA playoffs is Montana Tech hosting Dickinson, with the Digs leading 16-3. Dickinson was in the Frontier Conference for 2 years. They had 1 win in conference in that time. They go back to the North Star. They win the North Star Conference this year. And they were number 18 in the nation coming into this football game with winning that conference.
Yeah, they ran into a buzzsaw today. I mean, that's Montana Tech team is just playing as good as anybody in the country, especially on defense. And Dickinson's broke a couple nice-looking plays today against this defense, but it's the defense's reaction to big plays and how they just kind of play things play by play. They let the big gainers go and just take on the next snap. They're just incredible.
First, here we go. Matty Berg attempting the kickoff here. Down the center of the field, end over end, taken right at the goal line. The return will set up on the right across the 10, out to the 15-yard line. Big hit delivered. And Dickinson will start things off at their 15 as Montana Tech, great special teams again as they get coverage downfield quickly.
Reserve linebacker Nick Amistoy just crossing the field. And again, another good job of containing the return by Reed Siderius, keeping everything inside him, taking on the lead blocker. And Amistoy that time chasing down the, just kind of parallel and erasing the return man before he can even think about cutting.
9:48 left to play here in this first half. Montana Tech leading 16-3. Dickinson has run 15 offensive plays, 107 yards of total offense, even though their tailback, Trey Boone, has 8 carries for 108 yards. First down and 10. Ray out of the shotgun. Boone lined up behind him in the pistol. As rolling out, Ray looking to throw. Downfield, wants the deep ball, and it goes out of play, well overthrown. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long Dickinson State is going to stick with Kayla Ray at quarterback. Just doesn't look real comfortable in his attempts to throw the ball. A couple of those deep chances he had, I mean, the ball was vastly overthrown. And again, on the rollout pass there, the same result. He just doesn't look real comfortable back there.
Kayla Ray is 0 for 6 throwing the football here today. As lining up at tailback is David Spinner. He's a junior out of, looks like North Carolina. He'll get the handoff, bounces it out to the 20. So he'll get 4 on 2nd down, bring up 3rd down and 6 here for Dickinson State.
Yeah, that's just one-on-one. The cutback off inside zone to the right. He cut it all the way back, and Montana Tech was chasing hard off the backside. And so he's left one-on-one in the hole with Gunnar Kaiser, and Kaiser just doesn't miss. I mean, we've seen him tackle the perimeter so well in space, he just hasn't missed. He's a sure tackler, long body, 6'4", 200 pounds, and just a bear to try and get around or through.
Trey Boone is back into the ball game. He'll line up receiver left side. Ray out of the shotgun, empty backfield. 5 receivers, 3 left, 2 to the right. Montana Tech showing blitz. They'll bring pressure from 4. Ray across the middle. The slant is caught, but it's short. It's actually a good spot by the linesman on the far side for Dickinson.
Got an incredible spot, and I still believe he's going to be short.
Boy, look at where they're going to put this football down. If he puts it down right on the hash mark, it is a first down. But now they'll move it back over. It looked like he caught that ball right on the 25-yard line, but that far side official gave it a really good spot, and they will say first down. Dickinson will get a first down on the reception, and that is Ray's first completion. And that'll give Dickinson a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they caught Montana Tech in man-to-man. They were no back, 5 receivers in the route. Montana Tech was man across the board and ran a little bit of a stunt. They only rushed 4. They ran a tackle end twist with David Meese looping to the inside, and he did come untouched, but Ray did a nice job of getting rid of the ball on time on the quick slant route, knowing his receivers in man coverage, and he's going to get a little separation on a short route.
First down and 10 for Dickinson. Ray will hand it off to Boone on the fly to the edge, and he is hammered right at the line of scrimmage. Tried to turn it south, and there was just nothing there.
Yeah, that's Hanich again, coming up from safety, just coming up and making a play right at the line of scrimmage. It's so good to watch those active safeties who start 10, 11, 12 yards at the snap of the football, but they read so quick and they move so well down to the line of scrimmage. When you have run support like that, that's tough to run the perimeter against.
16-3, Montana Tech with the lead. 8 minutes left to play here in the opening half. Dickinson up to the line of scrimmage. They huddle up close to the line. Dickinson will put tight end right, wing left, and the tailback all the way over on the left side as well. Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Receiver in motion. He'll get Ray keeps it. He's across the 30, out to the 33-yard line. Nice read that time by the quarterback. He faked the handoff that time to the man in motion, who was Dalton Reed out of Miles City. Faked the handoff to him, kept it himself, and Ray will get out to the 34-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 2 here for Dickinson.
Well, they've run some fly sweep action and handed the ball, and that time Ray made a good read, faked the handoff on the fly sweep, and a little room to run up front. A good job by outside linebacker Drew Schleeman getting down the line of scrimmage and catching up to Ray in the hole, because there looked to be enough running room there for a first down.
Montana Tech crowds the box. 9 guys in. Boone gets the carry. He's going to be shut down behind the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out. Montana Tech says they have it. Was he down? We'll wait here. Montana Tech claims to have the football, and the officials say the same. Montana Tech will get the turnover as Boone coughed it up, and he gets up slowly.
Yeah, he looked a little wobbly, too. He got up and walked into the backfield and went down to his knees.
So Montana Tech will get the turnover at the Dickinson 35-yard line. Boone slow to get off the field. 6:56 left to play here in the first half.
And they did run Sterling in there at quarterback, the defensive back who has gotten quite a few snaps this year at quarterback for Dickinson State. He was under center, and they just tried to run the isolation. Good job in the interior, inside linebackers. Tyler Gavlak taking on the lead block and just erasing the ISO.
Loudenback out of the shotgun, 1 back at home. Saraceni releases. Loudenback in trouble, forced out of the pocket, trying to get away, now throws it away. Nice job by Loudenback being able to get rid of that, as Dickinson had good pressure that time.
He may get a grounding. The ball landed about a yard or 2 short of the line of scrimmage on the throwaway there. If he clears the pocket, I think he has to get the line of scrimmage.
Eligible receiver number 80 was in the area.
Also, they did have an eligible receiver in the area, because otherwise he could have been flagged for grounding. They discussed it a little bit.
Yep, they do discuss it. They say they had a receiver out there. So the throwaway by Loudenback will bring up 2nd down and 10. Saraceni in the backfield, 3 receivers right. Dickinson will rush 3. Loudenback pass right side complete to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5 as they go quickly into the hands of Mitchell Keaton. And Keaton will get 5.
On 5-step drop, Loudenback has to be patient and stick to his keys. He has to set that, on the previous one when he was chased out of the pocket, he's got to step up there. I mean, that's both outside guys coming. You've got to step up and let that rush go by you. He got a little panic there and tried to escape out the outside.
3rd down and 5. Bo Riley Pearson moves to the left side. Handoff to Saraceni up the middle. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He dives forward for a gain of 3. That's going to bring up 4th and 2 for Montana Tech at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that play on 3rd down tells me they had every intention of being in 4-down territory here, just running inside zone up the middle to see what Saraceni can get. But defensively for Dickinson State, Thomas Cece's having a nice game at outside linebacker. He's getting his head and hands to the football, on a consistent basis.
4th down and 2 here for Montana Tech. The offense is on the field. Ball at the Dickinson 27-yard line.
There you go. Cavender wants to run zone read off the right side here and keep it.
Cavender will hand it. He will keep it himself. Bounces it left. He's across the 25 to the 24. 1st down yardage, Montana Tech. Clay Cavender gets 3.
That's what he can read back there. He looked at the numbers, and he thought, I can either run zone off the left side and give it a good chance here, or I can move. He moved his back to the left side and ran zone off the right side, knowing he was probably going to keep it and go to the left side for the 1st down. That's a good read by Cavender.
1st down and 10, Montana Tech. Andrew Loudenbach back in at quarterback. LeChance all the way up top. 3 receivers here on the near side. Bray, the wide receiver, with Sullivan as well. And they're going to run the screen to Bray. Bray has a block. He's across the 20, 15 down near the 14.
Real good job at lead blocking out there by Sullivan and Mitchell, or not Keaton. Or Mitchell Keaton, excuse me. And Keaton's a load there at receiver. I mean, it's like having a tight end out there blocking the perimeter. 6'3", 210 pounds, and he gets his hands on and maintains contact without holding. That's real difficult to do out there in the flat.
2nd down and 1, they'll say, as they marked him out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 4:54 left to play here in the first half. Montana Tech leading 16-3. Full house backfield here for Clay Cavender. Saraceni behind him. Gapmeyer goes on the right-hand side, so 2 blockers for Saraceni. Play action, quarterback keeper. Cavender across the 10, down to the 5.
That's almost unfair. You get 3 backs in the backfield with Cavender taking the ball out of the shotgun. So as a defense, you not only have to deal with inside zone or power fake to Saraceni between the tackles, and then now Cavender's got 2 lead blockers out on the edge. That's almost not fair.
1st and goal from the 5. Same setup, full house. This time Cavender keeps it again, cuts back. He's to the 3. Boy, you mentioned that they fake the handoff for the dive motion, and that just, the linebackers have to respect that. And when you get it to the edge, it's just you have bodies out in front.
That's what I mean. You got the nation's leading rusher. That's who you're hand faking in the backfield. Of course, he's got the attention of that defensive front for Dickinson. And so if he pulls the ball out there, he's got 2 lead blocks over the right side with a real able runner behind him.
Clay Cavender gets the handoff, and this time he goes to Saraceni. Nolan Saraceni into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana Tech. The Digs pounder in, and they go up 22-3 as Nolan Saraceni will get in for the score. So Saraceni picks up his 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon.
Yeah, and I'm sure, the previous play there, I think, Cavender pulled the ball out and tried to get in the end zone himself. I think Saraceni might have came back to him in the backfield and said, hey, give it to me on the inside zone. It's there. And they came right back to the same play, and Saraceni's able to get in the end zone.
Matty Berg will attempt the PAT for Montana Tech. Look to stretch their lead out to 20. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up and knocks it through. So Matty Berg puts it through. Montana Tech goes up by 20. 23-3. Frontier Conference action, KBOW Butte, first round of the NAIA playoffs here on a Saturday. Dickinson will get it back after this 1-minute break.
Buy Tough. Call for the store nearest you. Tough, buy Tough.
Back here once again as we are at Alumni Coliseum and Bob Green Field. Frontier Conference action here on the Big 550 KBOW. First round of the playoffs. Dickinson, of course, former Frontier Conference opponent. Went back to the North Star Conference. They won the conference this year, and we have a little sunshine in here. The wind is not bad at all. We have just a tiny little bit.
I can't believe the weather that this team's gotten at home this year. I mean, even today, a couple days ago, it didn't look too good around here.
No.
Of course, the wind blowing, snow coming in. It was 2 days ago. This field was covered with a few inches of snow. But I tell you what, it's looking like it may get to about 30 degrees out here. But the key there is no wind and a good day for the active players on the field. You might say it's a perfect day to play.
Montana Tech with the kickoff as down the center of the field, Matty Berg to the 2. The return set up from there. They'll move it to the left, spinning out to the 15 and no farther. So the return just shy of the 15-yard line as Dickinson will bring her out to that point, and the Blue Hawks will bring the offense back out.
Boy, Amestoy, again, getting down on the coverage, the kickoff coverage. He didn't make the tackle, but he wiped his arm and got the attention of the return guy. After Amestoy made contact with him, he had no intention of moving further forward.
3:45 left to play here in the first half. Montana Tech up 23-3. And Dickinson offensively back out. Kayla Ray will take her out of the shotgun. One back at home. And they'll line up tight end right.
Good to see Crawford back in the game. He walked off under his own power earlier. Looked like he was dealing with some shoulder issues, but he's back in at defensive end.
Boone is not in at tailback. The carry will go to Jake Hardy, and Hardy will push it across the line of scrimmage for a gain of 2. Remember, Boone went out slowly on his last carry after he put it on the ground.
Yeah, and when he stood up out of the pile, he spun around and went to a knee. He may have gotten his bell rung. I see him; he's strapping up over there on the sideline, so it looks like he may come back in the game. They probably did some concussion protocol on him.
3:16 remaining in the first half. Montana Tech up 23-3. As Ray at quarterback moves his tight end left, kind of lined up in a wing. One back behind him in the pistol. Deep pitch will go to Hardy. He'll try and find the edge, and not much there. Montana Tech tracks him down. As really nothing there. That'll bring up third down and long here for Dickinson.
Boy, Sam Hanich is having a really, really nice game at safety. They're walking him down occasionally. 2 run support, but that time taking on the lead block. Looked like offensive tackle pulling out there. Joel Herrera, 6'1", 270 pounds, and Hanich not only takes him on, but makes the tackle on the perimeter.
Ray out of the shotgun, brings slot in motion. That's Ivanuk. He goes all the way over to the right side as Ray now will change the offensive play as he looks to the sideline. Play clock is at 0. They do not get it off in time. Delay a game. Dickinson did not get the play off. So what was 3rd and 8 now going to be backed up further. So the delay a game against Dickinson, 2:15 left to play here in the first half.
They say defense never slumps, and that really rings true with this defense because it's hard to get momentum against them. Yep. Dickinson's had every opportunity on a couple big plays here early in the game to get momentum. They just can't get it.
I didn't see who they... we have an ambulance leaving with lights on here. Unsure what we have going on there. 2:15 left to play here in the first half. They are saying Dickinson will not be charged with the delay a game. They were able to get a timeout off. So Dickinson will huddle up over talking to their coaching staff. Montana Tech leading 23-3. Right now, Montana Tech has run 34 offensive plays, 254 yards. Nolan Saraceni has 15 carries for $117 and 2 touchdowns. As of right now, Loudenback is 3 of 6 for 28 yards. Sean Sullivan is 1 for 1 for 44 on the double pass, if you will. On the other side for Dickinson, 23 offensive plays, 128 yards here in the first half.
Yeah, another 2 good runs by their star tailback, Trey Boone. Just nothing else working for this Dickinson offense.
Dickinson up to the line of scrimmage again after the timeout. 3rd down and 8. Out of the shotgun, Ray. He moves Ivanuk to his right. 3 receivers right, 1 left. 3rd down and 8 here for the Blue Hawks. Ray, 3-step drop, looking left, airs it up, pass complete to the 30. And that's going to be first down yardage here for the Blue Hawks. As coming back and making that catch is Austin Brown.
That's a little better job up front, not only taking on the Tech stunt, that time Tyler Gavlak coming on the loop around the right side, and they picked him up good. And a better job by Kaylor Ray standing in the pocket, but he was better on balance that time, was able to step at his target. D'Angelo Bell giving a little room here in man-to-man coverage.
Ray will hand it off. They'll clear the edge. Across the 35, spinning out to the 38-yard line with the carry is Jake Hardy. And Hardy gets a nice gain on first down. He'll pick up 8.
Crack block that time by wide receiver, Austin Brown coming down against Tyler Holtz. And, he's going to hear that from his cornerback.
Dickinson, quick snap as Hardy will get the carry, and he is hammered. He's going to lose several yards.
They say that ball's out again.
Yeah, Montana Tech saying that ball came out. We'll see what the officials say here as they clear the pile. 1:21 left to play here in this first half. Dickinson football at the 35-yard line, so that's going to be a loss of 4.
I'm surprised Montana Tech doesn't take a timeout here. Dickinson looking at 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5 with a minute left.
Clock continues to run. Montana Tech leading 23-3 out of the shotgun Ray. 3rd down and 5. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Montana Tech has 4 on the defensive front. Out of the shotgun, Ray dropping back. Pump fake, fires it right, bobbled, and dropped out on the wing. That'll bring up 4th down and stop the clock as the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, Montana Tech's going to get the ball back here with probably about 45 seconds left at a pretty good opportunity for good field position. And that's Trey Boone down again, I believe.
52 seconds remaining here in this opening half. Montana Tech leading 23-3. And as you mentioned, it does look like Boone is down on the field. Boone, as you mentioned, number 4 rusher in the nation this year. And today he's run the ball well. 10 carries, 110 yards. He went out, looked injured the last possession. This time, I believe he is down on the field. First round of the NAIA playoffs. 2 Frontier Conference schools are in the playoffs. Southern Oregon has their game later tonight, 6 o'clock. Now that's Oregon time, correct?
Could
Not
be.
Montana time, Oregon time, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, they're helping Boone to his feet there. I don't know if he was just shaken up maybe with wind.
And he does come off completely under his own power, jogs to the sideline. So 4th down and 5, and the punting unit is in here for Dickinson.
That's where it can get real difficult for small backs, like Boone's stature, is in pass protection, because a lot of times they're picking up blitz and linebackers that, might outweigh them by 50, 60, 70 pounds. That's where it becomes taxing on a small running back.
And the punt is away. Montana Tech gets good pressure again. No fair catch called for. Is on the run, Alec Bray. He's at midfield, 40-yard line. Bray down the right. 30, cuts back, 25-20, 15-10. Bray is in for the touchdown. Bray gets in for the score. Alec Bray. And there is a flag down out near midfield.
Boy, this surprises me because Bray came up, made a play on the ball at full speed, and had the edge so fast, he kind of outran anything at midfield. But it looks like it's coming back.
Everyone is coming back, so Bray's touchdown will be called back via the penalty.
The worst thing about it is we thought Montana Tech might get the ball back with 45 seconds left, but Bray's return to the house ate up another 7 or 8 seconds, and now they're looking at 38 seconds, and they're going to have to go about 60 yards for a score.
So after the penalty, we'll see where Montana Tech will end up with this thing. As Bray with a tremendous return, it is called back. And it will come back to the Montana Tech 43-yard line. So Montana Tech 1st and 10 from their 43 as the offense comes out. Loudon back out of the shotgun. Saracini left. 4 receivers, 2 each side. 38 seconds remaining in the first half. Montana Tech has all 3 timeouts. Dickinson will rush 3. Loudon back, dropping back, looking right. Pass downfield, trying to stay in bounds and catch that thing. Unable to do so is Alec Bray.
Yeah, kind
He's
of a careful
out trying to get there.
Yeah, careful throw by Loudenback. I mean, Bray had plenty of separation on the sideline route, but this is what Loudenback, I believe, needs more than anything is some good 2-minute kind of throw-only experience. Probably going to face, I don't know if he'll see much stunt. That time just a 3-man rush. But learn to get just comfortable back there because he throws the ball nice when he's comfortable. Learn to get comfortable, feel a little pressure, move around, and get the ball delivered.
2nd down and 10, empty backfield, 4-man pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket, gets away, downfield, complete to LaChance. LaChance across the 40, 35, cuts back 30 to the 27. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. LaChance gets his first catch of the day. The young man from San Diego inside the 30 to the 28, 1st and 10 for Montana Tech.
Good job of taking a timeout there, too, because they're down to 23 seconds. All 3 timeouts left. Good idea to take a timeout there. Just going to be tough for the way Montana Tech moves the football to avoid going to the house without a timeout here.
1st and 10, Montana Tech at the Dickinson 28-yard line. As Loudenback hits LaChance in stride. LaChance is a big target. Young man is 6'4", 200 pounds, junior, once again out of San Diego. He had a big game in Northern in week 1 when, Montana Tech had the luxury of having 3 quarterbacks. Yeah. Back long time ago at a galaxy far away.
That's another, kind of an unsung portion of this Montana Tech team is the dedication to running the football that they not only got offensively, but just with their wide receiver core. Alec Bray, their leading receiver on the year, not counting what he's done today, but in 10 games catching 32 balls, he had 16 catches through 3 games. So they've just they've had to go away from the passing game, and now these guys have just done a great job of blocking the perimeter and making the most of every opportunity they get, and they're few and far between.
Loudenback out of the shotgun, dropping back. Blitz is coming, steps up, delivers downfield into double coverage. It's picked off in the end zone. Intercepted, as coming down with the interception is Kane Bosch, and Dickinson will pick it off in the end zone.
Yeah, no, there's Dickinson's kind of stayed on everything deep, on top of everything deep thus far. I don't know what Loudenback saw there. There were 3 white jerseys in the end zone and Dion Williams, and he's trying to get almost like a miracle completion like he got against Western to Cancela for their first throwing touchdown last weekend.
So that will be a turnover, and it will go to Dickinson with 14 seconds remaining here in this first half. Montana Tech up 23-3. Dickinson will bring the offense out here, and it looks like we're going to see a different quarterback as looks like Moore Kirky will check in. Seth Moore Kirky will take the snap. Dickinson will take a knee, and we'll go into halftime. 23-3 our score. Montana Tech up by 20 after the first half of play as the first round of the NAIA playoffs here in Butte, Montana. The Digs, number 5 in the nation. Dickinson, number 18 in the nation. And Montana Tech in control. 23-3. We'll take a break, pay some bills, give you some numbers and more after this 2-minute timeout.
In Montana, when cold weather looms, we don't just shut the door and crank the heat. We get out and play. And Bob Ward's has your cold weather gear.
Stay warm.
Let me get her taped up here for you. A little bit of this, I think. All right, here we go. All right, that looks pretty good there. How's that feel? How's that feel there?
Ooh, that's
How's that feel there,
Pat? Ow.
Tell you what we need a little duct tape here, all right? This will just fix you right up. Got her. I think that's gonna work right there. How's that feel?
That's good. That's
a
good.
little bit more
That's
right
good.
Here on top. Yeah, that'll get her down good. Center down tight.
That's good.
All right. There we go. How's that now, Pat?
That
feels good. All right. Who's next?
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
From Lake
authorized Verizon Avenue.
Montana Tech leading Dickinson 23-3 here in the first half of play. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon, the first round of the NAIA playoffs. A 20-point lead here for the Digs. Haskey, give us your take of the opening half, brother.
Well, it couldn't be a better, start to the playoff season for Montana Tech. They're in their base stuff, zone and zone read. They're able to get essentially whatever they want. We saw him divert away from it a little bit, try and get cute on a couple plays. But, if this is a tighter game, I shouldn't say it wouldn't be a tighter game if Montana Tech would just kind of stuck to what they were doing early. Now, Dickinson's made some adjustments. They started in the 3-4. They went to a 4-man front. Now it looks like they're going more to the 3-4, and they're walking their 2 outside linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. So they have crowded the box a little bit. But that doesn't do anything really, doesn't do much to inside zone. You get a reduced defensive end down there that can take up maybe a little more space if they're playing good. But, yeah, Montana Tech's able to move the football. When they stick to kind of game plan, they shouldn't run into many hurdles here in the second half. And if you combine that with Dickinson's only made noise really with one player, their feature tailback, Trey Boone, who's ran for over 100 yards in the first half, but he's been helped off the field twice now, and that doesn't look good for that offense going into the second half.
Taking a look at the numbers here, we'll start things off from Montana Tech. As of right now, they have run 37 offensive plays for 283 yards as of right now. They have 13 first downs, 10 on the ground, 3 via the air as of right now. And individual numbers, running the football, a lot of different guys have a hand in it right now. Nolan Saraceni, the main guy, 15 carries, 117 yards. He has 2 touchdowns on the afternoon. Clay Cavender, 7 carries for 46 yards, 1 touchdown. Hunter Gapmeyer, 1 carry for 9. Zach Winfield, 1 for 8. Zach Bunny, 1 for 3 on the ground right now. Montana Tech has run the ball 27 times for 182 yards as a team. Through the air, Andrew Loudenbach is 4 of 9, 1 interception. That came right at the end of the first half. 57 yards through the air for Andrew Loudenbach as of right now. Sean Sullivan has 1 throw for 44 yards, 1 completion, as he knocked that one down on the double pass look. Receiving-wise, Bo Riley-Pearson, 1 catch for 44. Chris LaChance, 1 for 29. And Alec Bray, 2 catches for 23 yards. Once again, Montana Tech, 37 offensive plays, 283 yards right now. They have lost 1 fumble, and they have 1 interception here in that first half. On the other side for Dickinson, 3 points on the board. They scored right out of the gate on the fumble, and they have 28 offensive plays, 146 total yards. They have 1 fumble lost, 5 first downs thus far, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air, 1 via the penalty, as Dickinson has run 28 offensive plays for $146. The bulk of the damage coming from Trey Boone. Boone has 10 carries right now for 110 yards, so Boone has 110 of Dickinson's 146 yards in the opening half. Jake Hardy, 5 carries for 12. Ray Kaler has 2 carries for 6 yards. Kaler Ray right now is 2 of 9 through the air for 18 yards. One of his passes went to Austin Brown for 13 yards, the other to Perry Cruz for 5 yards, as Dickinson, 28 offensive plays, 146 yards.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty dominating performance by Montana Tech, especially on the defensive side. They've given up over 100 yards rushing, but the bulk of that's come on 2 runs, and it's bound to happen. You have somebody as dynamic as Trey Boone in the backfield. If you get decent execution at the line of scrimmage, he can kind of do the rest, and it's a credit to Montana Tech in 2 ways. Keeping him out of the end zone, D'Angelo Bell both times kind of running him down and forcing him to take another snap. And then that defense on quick changer after a big play, just coming in. Okay, that play's over. Let's move on to the next play. And they've just erased any further gains on those 2 after those 2 big runs. So, yeah, and I'm real curious to see if Trey Boone's going to be playing here in the second half, or what he brings to the table, because he's been beat up here pretty good in the first half.
I can't imagine what it changes for Dickinson's play calling if Boone's out. I mean, to be completely blunt, what else do you have?
Yeah, it's a big drop off in the dynamic play of the tailback from number 1 to number 2 there, and then they'll have to throw the ball a little more. And if they evolve into throwing the ball a little more here in the second half, they're going to start to see some various blitz packages as Montana Tech defense. They haven't had to run a lot of them now because they're just kind of playing their base defense up front defensively and just reacting, saying, our 11's better than your 11, and they're just more or less reacting and making plays. And
they've shown blitz and backed out of it a lot more than they've shown it come. I mean, they've only brought pressure, I remember, like twice maybe, which is really low for them because, they this year they have, we had a great conversation with head coach Chuck Morrell Wednesday on overtime, and Foley actually asked him what was the turning point in his eyes for this Tech defense, and he said the Rocky game, and it was a great reminder for me. We go on the road to Billings for the Rocky game. In the first half, it was a shootout. It was like 30 points on both sides of the football in the first half, and Montana Tech at that point had realized that they were a Wildcat team from that point forward. I mean, you're not getting McQuarrie back. Reardon's out for a while, so they need to change something dynamically to continue to win football games. And he said that second half of the Rocky game is where they decided to, instead of sitting back and kind of adjusting to what the other team's doing, they're gonna control the pace. They're gonna come at you hard, and that's when the light switch went with this Tech defense to become almost kind of ultra aggressive. Leave the corners out there on the islands and bring a ton of pressure. And it was kind of an eye-opening moment. He said that, and that second half of that game stands out a ton, and every game since then. I mean, this Montana Tech defense, against teams that want to throw the football, they have blitzed a lot, and they have gotten a lot of pressure on quarterbacks all season long.
And they bring a lot of different looks, and a lot of different rush combinations, different linebackers and different gaps. I'm curious to see what Montana Tech's going to do offensively. I think in that locker room right now, even though they're up 23-3,
they're not happy.
I think they're getting an earful from their OC, Pete Sturbick, and maybe their head coach, because they kind of faded a little bit there in the first half and got a little lax, and that's not the mindset they ever want to have up here. But another thing is, Quinn McQuarrie, the number 1 quarterback, we talked about whether he was going to play or not today, and I think they want to get him some snaps because I think he's close. And another reason I think he's close is in previous games when he warmed up, he still went and signaled, but he pulled the pads off.
Pads came off.
The pads have been on all day today.
Horrible. Because first I'm sitting here looking at the same thing. I keep looking at him because you go back to the Southern game, and the Southern game was the first game where he came out in full dress. He was in pads. He was in dress. He was actually even taped. But then once they came out for the football game, the tape all came off. The pads came off. Everything came on. Like you say, this week was the first time where he is completely ready to go. Pads are on. He's taped. He's ready to roll, and that has not come off. So I agree. I think we will possibly see him as this second half continues.
I think they want to get him some game snaps. There's no doubt about it. And I think they're just trying to look for the right time. And in a game that's 23-3 that you've dominated, when is the right time? Do you want to take a look at him and risk him getting that shoulder maybe re-injured? I don't know.
It's tough.
As a staff, I would do it. I would do it because you've played and won so long this season without him that in the slim chance that he does get hurt, it's business as usual. But if he can go out and get some live snaps against a live playoff defense like Dickinson State and improve himself moving on further in the playoff picture, I think the rewards outweigh the possible disaster or risk.
23-3 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State. First round of the NAIA playoffs. Montana Tech won the Frontier Conference. They had their trophy delivered earlier this week. Dickinson was the conference champions of the North Star Conference as well. Montana Tech finished the regular season at number 5 in the nation. Dickinson number 18 in the nation. And right now, Montana Tech in control by 20. 23-3 our score. We'll pay some bills. We're back here to Bob Green Field after this 2-minute timeout.
A lifetime of love. You lived a lifetime of love.
When a loved one passes on, families must find a way to go on.
Mom gave us a lifetime of love.
In a special way, we wanted to thank her for that.
In a time of loss, allow us to serve your family and create a tribute of a lifetime.
Lifetime of love.
Memories of a Lifetime of Love, Dugan Dolan Mortuary, We Care, at 1805 Meadowlark, 723-3239.
Whether you need a full rear end replacement, your mirrors aren't giving you a good view, your door isn't letting you in and out, or anything in between, Interstate Body Shop and 24-hour towing service has your body covered. Car bodies, truck bodies. If you've been in an accident, it's time to see the pros. The pros who know at Interstate Body Shop. Interstate Body Shop and 24-hour towing service, 540 South Main in historic Uptown Butte. Stop by for a free estimate.
Like it never happened.
Some things you can't control, like that epic traffic in the mall parking lot. Or the fussy triplets waiting behind you at the only register. Or the wet rock-filled shortcut you take home that leads to this. A flat tire. But you're not worried. Your Les Schwab tires are backed by their best tire value promise. So you'll get free flat repairs, free pre-trip safety checks, equal value replacements, and more for the life of your tires. Even the triplets would appreciate that. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Les Schwab Tires.
My name is John Wick. I am a graphic designer, as well as a teacher and executive director, and I wear a whole lot of other hats. I basically want to drink coffee and make really cool things. My experience at Tech really gave me the confidence to say, well, I can go out and do that stuff. Montana Tech really legitimized and helped me develop the skills that I didn't even really know that I had. Montana Tech was my solution.
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
At Montana Tech, I matter. And students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
My name is Shani Spangion. I am Northern Cheyenne and Crow, and Montana Tech was my solution in a lot of ways. I've been working for the Northern Cheyenne tribe for 9 years. I want to make sure I'm doing meaningful research for my community. Montana Tech is a great place. It allowed me to really design my own program. A lot of accommodations were made for my family. I am here with my daughter. Montana Tech is my solution.
We don't believe that you have to be born into extraordinary circumstances to live an extraordinary life. So what we want to do at Montana Tech is we want to put more students on that extraordinary path.
We take our students out of the classroom into the field.
Montana Tech promotes problem solvers, not problem makers.
They're able to adapt to pretty much any situation.
At Montana Tech, our students graduate and they go to work. They live the American dream. By supporting the Montana Tech Foundation, you're helping us put more students on that extraordinary path.
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
Montana Tech was my solution.
Students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
This is where Montana happens, where fires can leave a lifetime of memories in ashes, where heavy rains can sink an entire town, where a wall of ice can bury a quiet neighborhood in an instant. And this is where you turn for up-to-the-minute conditions, for the most accurate forecasting, and for the information you need to help you and your family stay safe. NBC Montana is alerting you to severe weather danger.
This is Blake. With the winter days getting shorter and the cold settling in, ProBuild will be going to their winter store hours. Beginning November 23rd, we will be open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and will be closed on Saturday and Sunday. We will still offer superior service, superior products, and competitive pricing, just new hours. Stop and see us at ProBuild Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. ProBuild, building supplies where you need them when you need them. ProBuild, 2805 Lexington.
Hi, this is Rose, and I'd like to reintroduce you to InstiPrints. On site, we have 2 offset presses, 2 digital color presses, a full binder department including a foil and die cutting press, a 54-inch full-color latex printer, t-shirt press, dry mount press, and the most current design programs. We are your local promotional products provider and offer complete in-house direct mail services to save you money. As a personally owned franchise member, we have access to all kinds of services and equipment. Our experienced staff can provide you with almost anything for your event or business. Stop by InstiPrints, 120 West Park Street in Uptown Butte.
Did you ever think the reason you may not be sleeping well at night is because of your mattress?
Is it old?
Maybe it's the one you inherited from your parents.
If that's the case, it's probably not providing you the support you need for a good night's sleep.
It's time to stop by Gillum's Furniture Emporium.
We have a large selection of different types of mattresses in many different price ranges.
At Gillum's, we have a layaway and financing programs. Stop by Gillum's Furniture Emporium, 1100 East Front Street in Butte.
Bring affordability home.
Hello, Southwest Montana. Jeff Corbin from McDonald's here.
And I'm Creedence. I'm Henry.
I've got my grandchildren here today to tell you about McDonald's new 50-cent menu. So, Creedon, how much is any size pop, tea, or coffee at McDonald's now?
50 cents, Papa.
Apple pies or a cookie?
60 cents, Papa.
What about a grape vanilla cone or a sundae?
60 cents, Papa.
So what restaurant has a 50-cent menu, kids?
McDonald's.
So bring your 50 cents to McDonald's today.
We're loving it.
Back here once again to Alumni Coliseum at Bob Green Field. Montana Tech leading by 20, 23-3 our score as we get rolling here in the first round of the NAIA playoffs. A 20-point lead here for Montana Tech as we get ready for the second half. Yep. This has been a fun year. I mean, you look at the Frontier Conference, how good it has been from top to bottom. And 2 teams from the conference in. Southern Oregon plays their game later tonight, I believe 6 o'clock their time, so 7 o'clock our time. And now that, as long as they aren't playing here, we certainly wish them the best of luck and would love to see that the Frontier schools represented deep into the playoff run.
Yeah, and hats off to every program in the Frontier, regardless of who they send to the playoffs. On a week-in and week-out basis, they're really getting teams ready to go into the postseason, where you're more favorites and not going in there hoping for at least one more win.
Yep.
And, Carroll College kind of set the standard for that. They just refused to be just a playoff team. They went out and won, and won 6 national championships since Mike Van Diest has been there in 1999. But just more competitive top to bottom. Even Northern, I look at this Tech team and what they've faced this year. Northern was as big a headache, not as big a headache, say, as Western was in that last game. There's no doubt about that. But they were a headache for this Tech offense, just in that defensive front.
That defensive front was
Morales,
so good.
Yeah, and Morales and Tucker Dunn at linebacker. I mean, they were good and sound, and they forced Tech to execute to end up scoring 40 points in that game because it wasn't pretty early.
You look at some of the teams that are in the bottom half of this Frontier Conference bracket. Carroll College finds himself there. You look at a team like Rocky. That Battling Bears team is a very good football team. They could come into, honestly, and we sit here and spout about how good the Frontier Conference is, but I look at like Rocky all the way up. Rocky, Eastern, Carroll. I still think Carroll will walk in here and play with any team in the playoffs. That's just the way my belief structure is. I think defensively they're as good as you're going to find anywhere in the nation. They don't miss tackles. They're a good team, and they're down at the bottom of the pile and how good this conference is. And you look at a team like Eastern. They're so athletically gifted in so many spots. that they're a team I think that could come in and knock anybody in the nation off as well. This conference is so good from top to bottom, and each of the teams have their little areas. I mean, we look at Northern; their defensive front is as solid as anybody in the nation. They have one of the best tailbacks in my eyes in the nation. As I mentioned with Eastern, their receiving core. I mean, you and I have been head over heels in love with their receiving core forever. You look at Rocky on both sides of the ball. Their base 3-4 defense is so good. They've always had good quarterback play. They've always had good receivers, big receivers. They have one of the best in the nation this year, and it just keeps going on. I mean, you can make amazing arguments for each of these teams in this conference that have some of the best players or players in the nation at their given position.
For 60 minutes in 2 football games against Carroll College, Montana Tech was more dominant physically against them than anybody I've seen them face this year, and that includes Northern. And, just from, say, a lack of struggle standpoint. I mean, the game here was 19-10. Sure, it was close, but that game physically was so lopsided.
Yep.
Tech kept shooting themselves in the foot. They were, just terrible penalties at awful times, but that was... They handled them, and they didn't let off when they went up there to Carroll to play them at Nelson Stadium, and then they got the results more of the domination and a blowout 42-7 victory. But yeah, I mean, there's just everybody was kind of a headache, and you had to play good, and a couple times I think Tech's just been playing good enough to win.
Here we go. We're underway in the second half as Matty Berg will kick it off. It bounces at the 7-yard line, single hopped across the 15, 20, 25. Out near the 30-yard line, the return to the 35, and we have flags everywhere back near the 10.
Yeah, Deion Williams had that covered, and he took a blatant push in the back down close to the 10-yard line. Dickinson State's going to start their first series of the second half probably down around the 5-yard line here.
One update here in southwest Montana. Whitefish leading Dillon 14-0 in that state championship A game down there to Dillon.
Whitefish has a lot of good players. And a lot of people thought, regardless of what happens from, say, that score forward, a lot of people thought that Dickinson may walk to the state championship. But I went up and watched Butte Central. Dillon?
You said Dickinson.
Oh, yeah, Dickinson. Sorry.
I don't think they'd make it through the A bracket. I'm sorry.
I'll leave that alone. But I went up and watched Butte Central beat Whitefish last year. In the state semifinals?
Semifinal, I want to say, yeah.
They had a lot of really talented players that were juniors last year,
okay.
and I've just seen a little bit of tape on them this year, and they're sound, and they'll be a headache for anybody.
First down at 10, Dickinson back near the 5-yard line after the penalty. So the return is nullified via the penalty. Out of the shotgun is Ray. One back, wing left, handoff will go left side. Back to the line of scrimmage, no more. We talked about Boone in the first half and how he looked like he was banged up. He does not come out to take the first series.
Yeah, so you're going to get David Spinner, 5'10", 200-pounder, who relieved Boone in the first half out of Denver.
That will bring up second down and 10 here as we look to the sidelines. As Dickinson huddles up, comes up to the line of scrimmage. Ray will send his receivers out, 2 right, 1 to the left. Spinner is standing about a yard deep in the end zone, lined up in the pistol. Wing left here for Ray. Montana Tech leading by 20. As the Digs have 4 guys on the defensive front. Ray, 5-step drop, looking for the deep ball. Down the middle, has a man, and it's almost picked off. Boy, that was a great defensive play by the receiver, as Dalton Reed was the intended target. That was picked, period, and Reed knocked it away from D'Angelo Bell.
Took the words right out of my mouth there. He saw that Bell was on top of that route, and he was slightly overthrown. He laid out, and, he put his upfield arm on it, just like a good play by a defensive back. D'Angelo Bell thought he had the interception. That's a nice, speaking of nice handoffs, that's a good handoff from one Stanton brother to the other. Out of Miles City is Reed, sending him out to Dickinson State to play for the old Unk.
Third down and 10 here for Dickinson. One back, Ray rolls out of the pocket right, rifle shot downfield. Boy, he had some juice on that one, overthrown, incomplete, brings up fourth down.
Yeah, the Austin Brown, the receiver there, wants a penalty on D'Angelo Bell. I thought it was played greatly on the sideline by Bell, but regardless, that ball was uncatchable, thrown probably 2 feet over Brown's outstretched 6'5" hands,
So Dickinson goes 3 and out on their opening possession here of the second half, and Montana Tech will get good field position here as the punting unit comes in. Montana Tech has had big pressure on the punter so far today, as the punter standing back about 3 yards shy of the back.
Alex Bray back deep for the Orediggers.
So the Dickinson punting unit is in, and the punt is away. Low, short kick, bounces at the 35, double hop across the 45 out near midfield. Bray made a move. He was going to try and hop it, and it kind of shorted on him, so he backed away from it.
He wants to avenge that previous touchdown. He had called back for a block in the back on a punt return, and he knew he got a cherry hop on that running punt. He laid back a little too long to field it cleanly, and a good job smartly staying away from it. The ball still came to rest inside the 50-yard line.
23-3 our score. Montana Tech up to the line of scrimmage. They take over at the Dickinson 49-yard line. And out at quarterback once again is Andrew Loudenbach.
I watched Cancela trot out there. I was looking at his stats. He has 5 catches this year, and 3 of them are for touchdowns.
That's pretty good numbers. Bo Riley Pearson in motion, comes back to the left side, out of the shotgun. Handoff will go to Nolan Saraceni. Saraceni spins, gets away from 1, across the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Nolan Saraceni dances for 8. And Montana Tech going to be looking at 2nd down and 2. Saraceni with 125 yards rushing so far on the day.
Inside zone off the right side, and he cut it back. The difference between that run and last week's running against Western was he was kind of trying to do the same thing there last week, but Western just such good tacklers in the hole. They just wouldn't let him get away.
Out of the shotgun, pass to the wing. Alec Bray catches it when he had no right catching it. He's across the 35 down to the 34. He goes up one-handed and tips it back to himself. And Alec Bray, who Coach Morell has said to us, it feels like hundreds of times now, that he has the best hands of any receiver he has ever come across in his life, tips it back to himself, 1st down yardage.
Yeah, he's got no business catching that ball on the slip screen to the right side. He had to go airborne, stretched out with his right hand, able to just kind of stick the glove on it, catch it, and make a 1st down catch.
1st down and 10. In motion is Bunny. Bunny gets it, looking to turn the corner. He's down near the 31 as he is out of bounds hard. A gain of 3.
Bunny's got to read that block out there. Bray did a nice job stock blocking on the left side, and Bray had inside-out leverage on his cornerback, and Bunny still tried to clear the corner. He's got to stop, cut that up, and get going north-south, and I think he may get 1st down yardage.
2nd down and 8 here for Montana Tech. Ball at the Dickinson 33-yard line. Just got an update. Wally let us know that the Southern Oregon kickoff is 5 o'clock our time. Thanks, Wally. We don't know how to use a clock. 1 back, 4 receivers. Saraceni, play action pass. It's tipped in the air. Dickinson's going to get the pick at the 30. It was knocked high in the air, turned into a jump ball, and getting underneath it for Dickinson, and the interception is going to be Devin Martin. Linebacker coming out of California will get the pick as it is batted up in the air, and the turnover will go to the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, good play that time. The ball's and that's Cavender back there at quarterback. That was the inside zone play fake and trying to hit that quick stick route to the inside slot. It's the same pass that Dawson Reardon got picked off on a similar tip ball last weekend. But yeah, Devin Martin not only making the interception, but letting the whole world know about it as he's running off the field.
1st down.
Those reactions are good when you're up 23-3, but when you're down 23-3, I think you just set the ball down and get on the sideline.
1st down and 10. Dickinson back out offensively. They went 3 and out on their opening possession here of the half. Out of the shotgun, Ray rifle shot well low of his receiver.
Yeah, see, he doesn't look real comfortable standing there throwing the football. He's got no pressure, play fake in the backfield, trying to hit the bubble screen, and he missed his target by 5 yards.
12:15 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Montana Tech leading 23-3 over Dickinson State. The Digs right at 300 yards of total offense, 41 offensive plays. Dickinson has run 31 offensive plays for 147. We have not seen Trey Boone in at tailback yet here in the 2nd half. He ran for over 100 yards in the opening half. Now Dickinson unsure on the play here. They have 2 backs, 3 receivers. Ray out of the shotgun. Montana Tech, as Ray will keep it across the 35 near the 40. As he gets into the 2nd level, gets 8, almost 9 on the carry, and that will bring up a short 3rd down here for Dickinson.
Yeah, Dickinson bringing Seth Evanuck back into the backfield that time, and he kind of mimics a little bit Trey Boone back there, in size and speed. But this has been tough for Dickinson, this third and short.
Ray keeps it himself, and because he's 6'5", he leans forward and gets 1st down yardage. He was hit about 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and just his body falls forward. Looked like a redwood just kind of falling forward.
They're the players, the defensive players from Montana Tech, I think they're screaming at the sideline to get the defensive signal in sooner. He had a couple out there throwing a fit. Gavlak's, waving his arms, and Schliemann's waving their arms, saying, get the call in quicker, get the call in quicker.
First down and 10 here for Dickinson at their 43-yard line. 2 backs, 3 receivers. Out of the shotgun is Ray. Montana Tech will rush 4. Handoff is going nowhere. Montana Tech rides it into the turf as Ivanuk gets the carry, and Ivanuk is going to lose 5.
This guy's playing as good at football as anybody in the country right now. Jacob Crawford, we really started to see him emerge in the defensive front kind of all year, but I tell you, he went to a different level against Carroll College up there. He had a couple batted down balls.
We talked about that.
Then forward.
Yep, the last 4 games of the year were murderers row for Montana Tech, and they were basically in a playoff picture at that point, and in those 4 games, he has just been stellar.
I stopped and chatted with him after the game last weekend down there on the field, and I tell you what a good kid. I tell you, he's got the right mind for this game. There's no doubt about it.
Second down and 15 out of the shotgun. Ray dropping back. He has time. Pocket starts to collapse, delivers downfield. Almost, I was going to say overthrown, but his receiver got fingertips on it that time.
Oh, that was a really catchable ball crossing the middle of the field.
Jordan Walker, the freshman tight end out of Baker, hit him in the hands, and it falls incomplete. Boy, when he let go of it, it looked like it was way overthrown, but the young man, Baker, he got underneath it and just couldn't bring it in.
Dickinson, if there's one thing offensively that I think they've done really good as anybody that Montana Tech's faced this year, is pass protection. They've been pretty good.
Yep.
Ray's getting plenty of time to find open receivers and get a ball delivered.
He's been hit once, and that's really it. Third down and 15 here for Dickinson. 4 receivers, 1 back. Ray drops back. Blitz is coming. Ray in trouble. Gets away from 1. Airs it up downfield. Pass is caught at the Montana Tech 30. Down to the 15-10. Dickinson to the 4-yard line. As with the reception coming back for the football was Dalton Reed. Reed out of Miles City gets the catch, and he is down to the Montana Tech 3-yard line officially.
No business getting that ball complete. That ball is thrown into coverage, but a credit to Reed. He went up strong and made the catch. Montana Tech had multiple defenders in the area that could make a play on the ball. They just never got the play they wanted. And fortunately for Montana Tech, they did get Reed drugged down at the 3-yard line, and these are the situations where this defense has just been tough. After a big play, they've just been a headache to try and finish a deal on.
First and goal from the 3, Dickinson, and Ray will keep it himself. He is hit and brought down a yard behind the line of scrimmage. He faked the handoff on the fly motion across the front. He keeps it himself, and he has stood up quickly.
They adjust so well. That's probably the best running play other than Trey Boone's 2 big runs earlier in the game that Dickinson's had. That's the quarterback keep off the outside zone fake, the quarterback right up the gut, and Montana Tech knowing, okay, they're down inside the 3-yard line. If they're in the shotgun, if zone read, it's probably quarterback keep, and they do a great job of adjusting.
Second and goal from the 4. Ray out of the shotgun. 1 back lined up behind him in the pistol, 4 receivers. Ray drops back, has time, delivers into the end zone, tipped incomplete. That time he was looking for Austin Brown on the inside slant, off his fingers, incomplete, brings up 3rd and goal.
Austin Brown's a load out there, 6'4", 210 pounds, but he's got to spend more effort trying to go get the football and less worrying about whether he's getting pass interfered or not. Because he's in a tangle that time at the goal line, press coverage with D'Angelo Bell, and there's going to be contact after you snap the ball. But, Bell's fighting for that ball, and Brown just kind of gives up and worries about the pass interference.
9:12 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Montana Tech up by 20. Man in motion, Ray out of the shotgun. Ray rolls out of the pocket right, airs it up on the goal line. Catch is made, should be touchdown, and it is Dickinson. Touchdown for the Blue Hawks, as coming across the goal line, it looked like Austin Brown with the catch. And Dickinson will get their first touchdown of the afternoon.
That's a better job by Brown, just running a kind of a stomp, a pivot route, out route on the goal line. And a good job by Ray. He hasn't been real accurate in rollout throws thus far today, and he made the good completion there.
Montana Tech, 3 turnovers on the afternoon. I'm pretty sure that's a a season high coming into this ball game.
Yeah, that isn't going to sit well on that sideline.
23-9 the score, and the kick knocks it through. 23-10. Montana Tech leads by 13 over Dickinson. NAIA playoffs here at Bob Green Field. We'll pay some bills. We're back with Montana Tech's possession after this 1-minute break.
Are you?
My name is John Wick. I am a graphic designer as well as a teacher and executive director, and I wear a whole lot of other hats. I basically want to drink coffee and make really cool things. My experience at Tech really gave me the confidence to say, well, I can go out and do that stuff. Montana Tech really legitimized and helped me develop the skills that I didn't even really know that I had. Montana Tech was my solution.
Steaks, we take pride in every detail that goes into preparing your food. Top off your meal with a premium cocktail, wine, or microbrew. Come as you are and satisfy your craving with our home-style breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the Montana Club. The Montana Club on Harrison Avenue in Butte.
Back here once again as we are at Bob Green Field, Alumni Coliseum. Montana Tech representing the Frontier Conference here at the NAIA playoffs. Southern Oregon also playing their game later on tonight, 5 o'clock our time. And we shall see. 16 teams left in the nation.
The big play on that previous drive where Ray found Reed, on the big gainer. That was a nice play by Ray in the offensive backfield. Montana Tech dialed up a pressure package. Drew Schliemann came untouched off the left side, but Ray did a nice job of stepping up, avoiding that rush. Schliemann just got an arm on him. Ray stayed on his feet and was able to get the ball delivered downfield. Now, that was a good play by, the quarterback that struggled a little bit here today, but that was a good positive play for that offense.
Ray right now throwing the football is 4 of 16 for 80 yards and 1 touchdown for Dickinson. And Dickinson getting ready to kick it off. Montana Tech, short kick. Fielded up near the 18-yard line, left side, across the 25-30, out to the 35-yard line as Montana Tech will get the return to there. And the digs will get rolling from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the kick was almost too short to get any kind of a return set up. That's a good job by Dion Williams, just fielding the ball, getting straight, heading north, just getting straight up field and getting what he could get.
At the half down to Bozeman, Montana leading Montana State 37-14.
I was recording that.
You do that to me all the time.
I know.
All the time. Oh, that felt good. What other games are you recording? I'll give you scores.
I've got a bunch of them.
I do too. First down, and that wasn't one of them. First down and 10 as the digs up to the line of scrimmage. 2 tight ends right. Under center, handoff will go to Nolan Saracini. He'll stretch the edge. He's across the line of scrimmage, 40, out to the 43-yard line. So Nolan Saracini will get 9 on the carry. His numbers continue to roll here. Saracini up to 134 yards on the day.
I'm real impressed with outside linebacker Thomas Cece. He's getting let up on it outside linebacker there. He does a nice job of stringing plays out. I mean, he's taken on 2 blockers there and stayed on his feet. A real nice job.
He's a sophomore. I've noticed Dickinson is young. Handoff through the middle, and Saracini will get himself 4 on the carry. That's certainly one thing. If you're Dickinson right now, you're well in this ball game, and we're not talking in that respect, but you look at Dickinson down the line, they're a very young football team as well. We keep talking about that, and a lot of the key positions for Montana Tech are young. Dickinson's on that same page. We're seeing freshmen, we're seeing sophomores, a lot of sophomores it feels like for the Blue Hawks today.
Saracini ran himself off the field, doing a little stretching here. I don't know if he's cramping up or has something going on with that right leg.
First and 10, handoff inside will go to Bunny, and not much there for Zach Bunny, who lined up at tailback.
We've seen Quinn McQuarrie taking a few warm-up throws here since he's been out of the locker room here at halftime, but yet to throw on the helmet and get in the game.
Yeah, he still is signaling in plays from the sidelines. His pads are on, though, which is a change here over the last month.
He could be keeping them on for warmth.
Warmth is good. Maybe he can bring some up to us. They didn't pay the heating bill in the booth. Second down and 9. Under center, Andrew Loudenback. 1 back, 2 receivers. Play action, Loudenback looking to throw. Downfield, coming back for it is Bray, and he just can't hold on to it.
Tough catch. He's worried about getting the knees down on the sideline as he went down for that football. and just unable to rake it in. Had to get back of his hands on the turf to field that ball, just unable to bring it in.
3rd down and 9 here for Montana Tech. 7:39 left to play here in the third quarter. Montana Tech leading 23-10. As the Digs will bring in the play, Bunny will stay in at tailback. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. So Bunny in at tailback. Saraceni got stretched out a little bit. Now he'll come up to the pile of players. Blitz is coming, well picked up. Loudenback looking downfield, has a man complete. 20, 15, down to the 10. Touchdown Montana Tech. The Digs get her downfield as they get it into the hands of Colby Kansela. He gets another touchdown, and Montana Tech goes up 29-10.
I hope his cousin Kent is listening to us. He's just having a fantastic year when he's called on. That's now 4 touchdown catches this year on 4 out of his 6 catches have gone for touchdowns this year. And that's just one-on-one coverage. That's him getting upfield, vertically on a safety, and a good stomp on the corner route, and then separating with the post route. And a really nicely delivered ball that time by his quarterback, Loudenback. Real comfortable back there. Put it out in the middle of the field where Kansela could go get it.
7:29 left to play here in the third. Montana Tech will bring in Matty Berg for the PAT. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, and it is good. 30-10 our score. Montana Tech leads by 20. Dickinson will get it back after this 1-minute timeout.
How do we measure our more than 40,000?
There's really nothing more exhilarating than choosing your own destiny.
That is when I am most excited to apply myself.
Graduates that come from here, I think, fundamentally work harder. When you hire someone from Montana Tech, they're ready to go to work.
At Montana Tech, I matter. And students that graduate from Montana Tech go on to matter to their communities, to the country, and to the world.
Montana Tech. Find your solution.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
There's Montana Tech. We'll kick it off. It's Oklahoma TCU, buddy.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We're sitting here trying to remember who's playing who. Unfortunately, by looking for your scores, I had to look at a couple of scores of games that I'm recording and got the finals for, buddy. Appreciate that. So Montana Tech will kick it away. Matty Berg approaches, and we are rolling here. Dickinson, this one's going to go deep. Hits about 3 yards deep, rolls out of the back of the end zone. Such a great weapon. I mean, you know, Matty Berg's progression here through the years has been outstanding. You know, his kickoffs this year have helped out his defenses a ton and his special teams a ton when he's able to knock it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of liking his kicks. You know, all his previous kicks have come down right at about the goal line, so they're forced to be returned. And the kick cover team for Montana Tech's done a nice job today covering kicks, and Dickinson's essentially started inside the 20-yard line on most of their kick returns, but this time just a ball going through the end zone. They get to a new set of downs after a little momentum grab on their previous series at the 25-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 here for Dickinson. Ball at the 25-yard line. 1 back, 3 receivers with 2 tight ends. Pass goes out on the right side, complete across the 30 to the 33. Quick hitter out on that far side of the field as Dickinson will pick up 8 on the reception. As they got it out, it looked like Austin Brown with the catch for Dickinson.
Yeah, that's the slip screen. That's a little better throw that time. Last time Kayla Ray tried to hit that slip screen, he missed him by about 5 yards, but a good job delivering the ball and getting Austin Brown headed upfield before he caught it. And a good job by Brown knowing, I mean, David Meese is playing outside linebacker, and he gets traces down the line of scrimmage and just wiped him out, but a good gain on 1st down.
2nd down and 1. As the handoff will go on the edge and trying to barrel his way to 1st down yardage to the 35-yard line is Jake Hardy. Hardy out of Beach, North Dakota. And that should move the chains as he does get to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Beach. It looked like his knees went down there a little earlier, but they must not have. As he planted to get upfield, it looked like he was short of the first down, but the official right there and moving the sticks for a new set of downs for Dickey.
Hardy.
Sorry if
5'11", 200.
Sorry if I call him Dickey. We always called him Dickey.
First down and 10 here for the Blue Hawks. 6:24 left to play in the third. Montana Tech up 30-10. Ray out of the shotgun. Montana Tech brings 4 up to the defensive front. They'll rush 4. Ray stands in, delivers, pass overthrown, incomplete. He had what he wanted. His receiver on the quick little button hook that time, as Perry Cruz was the intended target. He was wide open and just missed him high.
Yeah, missed him high, but Cruz was able to get hands on the football. That's a ball on the square end and about 10 yards downfield. That's a ball as a receiver you expect to catch, and the colder football and the colder conditions here probably add to the fact that it's a little tougher to catch it for him. But yeah, that's a ball you expect to catch as a receiver.
Ray is 5 of 17 on the day for 89 yards. He'll take it out of the shotgun again. We have not seen the tailback, Trey Boone, in the contest since halftime. Hand off to the tailback as trying to find some running room was Jake Hardy, and there's nothing there. Hardy will be swarmed, and he'll lose 1, maybe 2 on the carry.
Yeah, it's Sanders at nose tackle. Just beat the center, beat the double team there at the snap of the football, and just swallowed up the back in the backfield. Nice play by Sanders.
5:50 left to play here in the third quarter. Montana Tech leading 30-10. As it stands right now, Montana Tech would need one of the top 4 teams in the playoffs to lose to host next week. Third down and 11. 1 back, 4 receivers. Montana Tech has 4 guys. They're showing blitz. They'll bring pressure from an additional 1. Ray looking for the deep ball. Picked off at the 35-yard line. There's a flag down. Montana Tech will get an interception as getting the pick for Montana Tech. It looks like by the reaction it's coming back here as Will Davey got the pick, but I think we're going to get a pass interference, maybe a defensive hold on the edge.
The preliminary call was a defensive hold, and D'Angelo Bell's out there pleading his case. Austin Brown ended up going to the ground. That's why it looked like a blatant overthrow or almost a throwaway.
So the interception is waived. The defensive hold will not only give Dickinson the football back, but also a first down.
And takes away Davies' 5th interception of the year.
Seems like we've said that a few times.
Yeah.
5:16 left to play here in the third. They'll march off the penalty out to the Dickinson 44-yard line. So Dickinson 1st and 10 from their 44. 5:13 left to play here in the third quarter. Dickinson up to the line of scrimmage. The linemen will now come in and chat about this here.
Well, I think they're going to talk about ball spot because I think if it's a 10-yard penalty, the ball should clear the 45.
That's a good call.
Unless, did they lose? What down was that? Was it first down or second down?
It was second down. I think they had it first down, the small or the loss on a carry.
Then, yeah, I think that's what the clarification they're trying to get out of the line judge here.
First down and 10 for Dickinson. Ball at their 44-yard line. Montana Tech, 4 guys on the defensive front, now almost creeping up a 5th. Heavy pressure coming. Ray's going to keep it himself on the play action. He'll clear the edge across the 50, shoved out of bounds at the Montana Tech 46.
I don't know that Dickinson's been penalized today. They weren't at halftime. They'd had 0 penalties in the first half.
4:48 left to play here in the third. Ray went running out of bounds. He got over to the sideline as Montana Tech has 5 guys down here on the bench. Bo Riley Pearson is on the end of the bench. As Ray ran past him, he put his hand by, wanted to give him 5, and Bo Riley Pearson wasn't about to. First down and 10, Dickinson at the Montana Tech 46-yard line. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Ray out of the shotgun. Play action, Ray, pass out on the left side, complete across the 35, down near the 30-yard line. So Dickinson's offense starting to get the wheels on the turf here a little bit as he gets the pass complete to, looks like Brian Connolly with the catch.
That looked a lot like that common play out of shotgun that Montana Tech runs, inside zone fake and then popping the stick route. And Ray made a nice fake in the backfield, got the linebackers to step up, and was able to deliver the ball for the completion.
Third quarter action, Montana Tech leading 30-10. First down and 10, Dickinson at the Montana Tech 32-yard line. Digger D looking for a stop here. Man in motion. Ray out of the shotgun. Ray will hand it off to his tailback, trying to clear the edge across the 30, down near the 27, as Evenuk with the carry. And Seth Evenuk will bring her down to the 27-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 4.
Yeah, Evenuk, another smaller guy, 5'7", 160 pounds, but was able to turn the corner a little bit that time. He's had trouble getting the corner on his opportunities today, but at least that time he could turn it and pick up 5.
Second down and 5 here for Dickinson. Ball at the Montana Tech 28-yard line. Dickinson continues to claw and hang in this football game. 3:38 left to play in the third. Ray out of the shotgun. 4 receivers, 1 back. Ray rolls out of the pocket right, has time all day to throw across the middle. Pass complete to the 10. As Montana Tech secondary was all deep, Austin Brown on the crossing route will get the catch. First and goal from the 9-yard line of Montana Tech.
Yeah, that was a good scramble route by Austin Brown. Ray circled or rolled out right, but was contained and held up, and he looked back, crossing the field. Brown did a nice job of kind of running a scramble route, getting his quarterback's attention, staying down in front of the safeties for a pretty easy completion out of kind of a scramble mode.
First and goal from the 9, out of the shotgun. Ray, play action. Blitz is coming. His pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, offensively up front, Dickinson's did a nice job in pass protection. Tech's just not getting the pressure that they've got on a lot of opponents this year.
Crawford knocks that one down at the line of scrimmage. Getting up slowly is Xavier Marsden. So X will get up, shake out the cobwebs a little bit. 2:58 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech up 30-10. The defense trying to hold here as they're looking at second down and goal from the 9.
Yeah, the versatile read side Arias. He plays a lot of safety, but also seen him in the last couple games playing a little cornerback, spelling Marsden there at right cornerback.
So second and goal from the 9. Dickinson went over to the sidelines, kind of huddled up with Coach.
I haven't seen Anthony Nelson today, and I did see a couple guys walking around. I don't know if he bummed up a shoulder there, but I haven't seen Nelson. He's kind of the relief cornerback too.
Trips receivers right, 1 to the left. Ray out of the shotgun. Gets the snap, play action, blitz is coming as the screen out on the edge falls incomplete. Boy, you had talked about it the play before that as Montana Tech, not a whole lot of pressure that time. Ray had green jerseys coming at him hard.
Yeah, they brought pressure, and it was a good play call against that pressure. But Evenuk's just unable to make the completion. Pretty well thrown ball by Ray. Careful throw, a little lower, but Evenuk's low to the ground and should be able to make that play. He'll be kicking himself for that, missing that opportunity against a sellout blitz.
Third and goal from the 10. Ray will move his tail back to his left side. 4 receivers, trips right, 1 left. Montana Tech is coming with the blitz. Snap is low. Ray delivers across the middle. It's tipped multiple times. And that will bring up 4th and goal from the 10.
Yeah, ball batted at the line of scrimmage. A big bat down. Tech bringing pressure again, but Ray did have time to deliver the football.
Blitz was coming, too. They brought a ton of pressure, and Dickinson's offensive front gave him time to throw the football. Yeah, and the offense stays out. 4th and goal from the 10. Ray out of the shotgun. 2 receivers each way. Hard snap count. And now they look to the sideline. Doesn't look like the special teams unit is gathering. Ray will call in the play here. 2 receivers each way out of the shotgun. Ray, 1 back at home in the pistol. 3 seconds on the play clock, down to 1. Ray gets the snap, looking right, crossing route, and it's incomplete. Turnover on downs as D'Angelo Bell is there in coverage.
Yeah, they just tried to get upfield and stick a slant route on D'Angelo Bell, and Austin Brown did a nice job of using his body to screen Brown a little bit, but Ray's ball was just delivered a hair behind Brown, and D'Angelo Bell was able to get a hand on it. That's a tough task for D'Angelo Bell against a big receiver. He had that trouble. I talked to him last week after the game against Sherwood from Western. He said same thing. He said he gets stuck behind those receivers, and he just looked at me and goes, I can't see anything, So, good play by D'Angelo Bell. Physically, he can handle anybody, but just sometimes it's tough for him to see around those bigger wideouts.
Turnover on downs to Montana Tech. Andrew Loudon back at quarterback. Tight ends move to the right side of the formation. 2 of them. Deep back is Saraceni. He'll get the carry. Straight ahead, Nolan across the 10, out to the 14. A gain of 4.
I think one of the troubles that Saraceni's have, and he hasn't had a ton of trouble today, but he's had issues a little bit with that left shoulder of his, so it's hard for him to hit into the line real violently, because a lot of times the ball's in the right hand or tucked in the right hand, so his lead shoulder's his left shoulder, the one that hurts. So we see him picking and choosing a little bit more there rather than just lowering his head, and I think, he just wants to stay healthy too.
Saraceni, 140 yards on the day. He'll get the care. No, Clay Cavender keeps it himself, bucks it out on the left-hand side. He's out near the 20, stops, head down to the 23, but we have a flag down on the far side of the field.
Far side, it's either going to be offsides or maybe a false start by Montana Tech, but it came from the side judge over there, and I think we're getting a preliminary signal of offsides on Dickinson.
Okay. Clay Cavender did run for first down yardage. So the penalty is declined. Cavender will get credit for the first down run. 1st and 10, Montana Tech at their 23-yard line. 30-10 our score. Montana Tech up by 20 with 2 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Montana Tech 47 offensive plays, 370 yards on the day. Cavender in at quarterback. Now we have flags, and it's going to be they had too many guys as they broke the huddle. This one's coming back 5.
That's a weird call to make since they don't huddle.
Exactly. They tried to run a guy off, and the back judge or the ump threw the flag there, and that will come back 5.
Yeah, I think Montana Tech would like to chew up about the rest. Of course, the rest of this 2 minutes of this third quarter, up 30-10, and maybe a good 4 or 5 minutes of that fourth quarter and end this thing with a field goal or a touchdown.
1:50 left to play here in the third. Pass out on the edge is underthrown as they tried the screen out to Sean Sullivan. It falls incomplete. Second down and long now for Montana Tech.
Yeah, and here's where this Montana Tech team gets in difficult situations. 2nd and 15 with Cavender in the game at quarterback, because the pass, you can see just by that attempted completion, he isn't in there to throw the ball. He's a run first quarterback, and so you're probably going to get some version of the zone or zone read here.
Cavender at quarterback, handoff to Saraceni. Saraceni is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up third down and 15 now. And we'll get a change of personnel as Andrew Loudenbach is back in. LaChance also into the ball game. And also coming in at receiver is going to be Mitchell Keaton.
Yeah, you got to drop back and throw the ball here with the intent of, we're getting pretty good time. I don't think Dickinson's going to send much pressure. Thinking 2.5, 3 seconds. And look downfield between the hashes, about 15 yards downfield, and you should be able to get a first down completion here.
Loudenbach today is 6 of 12, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Loudenbach looking for the double move. Sullivan down deep. Instead, he goes to Keaton. Keaton is hit at the 48-yard line. The ball hit his helmet, hit the turf, and that is incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and long here for the Montana Tech offense.
Had everything you wanted there. Keaton on the square in the post downfield. He did a nice job of screening defensive back Jay Liggins down there. And it looked like the ball just glanced off his shoulder pads, and he had his head turned to the quarterback. I don't know if he lost it in the sun or what happened.
Yeah, because it never really looked like he got his hands up. It came down. It was right on target, and it falls incomplete. 4th and long, and the punting unit is in for Montana Tech. Dickinson gets a lot of pressure, a nice kick, a ton of air underneath it. Back to the 36, bobbled. It's falling. It's still alive. And it looks like Dickinson got on it at their 34-yard line.
Yeah, had a little trouble. Of course, missed it. And then when he went to a knee or down to jump on it, Dylan Scabo just, pretty lucky there. I mean, it looked like, he dropped the ball, had plenty of time to get down on it. As he got down on the football, he lost it again.
52 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Dickinson gets the football back. Dickinson has run 52 offensive plays for 271 yards. Their quarterback, Kaylor Ray, is 7 of 24 with 1 touchdown and 122 yards through the air. His main receiver is Dalton Reed, 1 catch for 59. First down and 10 here for Dickinson. Ray is in at quarterback. At tailback again is Jake Hardy. As again, we have not seen Boone at all here in the second half. And now we're going to get...
They're raising the roof. Reset the shot clock, maybe.
Raising the roof. Thank you for that.
Is that still cool to raise the roof?
I haven't a clue. I've never been cool, Haskey. First down and 10 out of the shotgun Ray. 3 receivers.
You have a Harley.
That does not make me cool, as evidence. Ray, now we're going to get flags aplenty.
Flag on the play.
And it looks like Dickinson got started early.
Prior to the snap. False start.
So a false start will back him up 5.
5-yard penalty.
Boy, honestly,
First down.
for a playoff game, this is a real sloppy football game.
Yeah, and it's not, they haven't been sloppy like, a lot of procedural type stuff. Of course, Dickinson's been really clean penalty-wise today. They had the offsides on the previous series of Montana Tech, but yeah, a lot of the execution stuff, you can attribute it, I don't know, you think maybe to the temperature, certainly not the weather, just the outside temperature maybe a little bit, but yeah, you're right, it has been a little sloppy.
1st and 15 for Ray out of the shotgun. As he has one back with him, he'll get the ball. Tailback will pound through the 30, out to the 35. Football comes out, Montana Tech gets it. Boy, Jake Hardy came through the hole and just coughed it up. Montana Tech will get the turnover deep in Dickinson territory.
Yeah, that's the reigning Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the Week, David Meese, reacting from outside linebacker to the inside isolation play and just got that ball punched out. Good tackle, punched the ball out. He had a forced fumble last week, a fumble recovery last week, 2 separate plays, and a great day of defense. A lot of great days of defense for Meese. He's the class of the country at outside linebacker, no doubt about it, and gives his defensive teammates a real pick-me-up there, causing the turnover.
45 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Montana Tech under center. Loudenback will hand it off to Saracini. He'll move it to the right hand, across the 35-30 to the 28-yard line. Dang near first down yardage for Saracini on first down. They'll give him 9, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 1 for the Montana Tech Orediggers.
Yeah, if Montana Tech, with what they're going now, still on the third-string quarterback, and it's been Loudenback for so many weeks now, you just almost regard him as at their quarterback. But if Tech's in situations where they're 2nd and 5 or less, they're just going to be unbeatable. They're going to be unbeatable. Where they get into trouble is 2nd and 10.
Full house backfield for Clay Cavender in. Cavender will hand it off to Saracini. He'll bounce it away from his blockers across the 25, head down to the 22. First down yardage. That's going to be a gain of 7, but we do have flags down. All the blocking went left. Saracini took it and went right. And they're showing hold against Montana Tech. So the preliminary call by Ron Heskett is a hold.
Well, that
will stand.
Didn't look like much of a hold, but the defensive guy who claimed to get hold threw such a big fit that the official threw the flag. Saracini made a nice cut. I mean, that was inside zone off the left side. He cut it all the way back around the right side and had the corner. Excuse me. The hold really had nothing to do with the success of the play.
2nd down and 11 now after the penalty. So Montana Tech will change out personnel. As back in at quarterback is Andrew Loudenback. And that's going to do her for the third quarter. So we have 15 minutes left in regulation. Montana Tech leading 30-10. NAIA playoffs here on KBOW Butte. Montana Tech 2nd down and 11 when we get the fourth quarter underway after this 1-minute break.
We don't believe that you have to be born into extraordinary circumstances to live an extraordinary life. So what we want to do at Montana Tech is we want to put more students on that extraordinary path.
We take our students out of the classroom into the field.
Montana Tech promotes problem solvers, not problem makers.
They're able to adapt to pretty much any situation.
At Montana Tech, our students graduate and they go to work. They live the American dream. By supporting the Montana Tech Foundation, they're helping us put more students on that extraordinary path.
This is where Montana happens, where fires can leave a lifetime of memories in ashes, where heavy rains can sink an entire town, where a wall of ice can bury a quiet neighborhood in an instant. And this is where you turn for up-to-the-minute conditions, for the most accurate forecasting, and for the information you need to help you and your family stay safe. NBC Montana is alerting you to severe weather danger.
Playoff game for Montana Tech since 1997, as the Digs looking to get into round 2 for the first time since 05.
Yeah, Montana Tech lined up in 2 tight, 2 wide here, single back. I want to see if maybe they don't try and get cancel a one-on-one versus a safety again.
Loudenback is in at quarterback. Saracini back with him. Montana Tech right now has run 52 offensive plays for 389 yards. Loudenback is 6 of 13 for 115, a touchdown and an interception.
Haven't seen a lot of single high safety out of this Dickinson defense. They got it now. If they get 2 verticals out of their tight ends, they might get what they want.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the Dickinson 38-yard line. And the play action, looking to throw. Loudenback downfield, left side, complete to the 12-yard line, 10-yard line. Cancela with the catch. And Ron Haskett with the cocky head wave.
Well, you could kind of see it. I don't know why I saw it. Cancela, when he was running out there, just had an extra hop in his step, like, hooray, I'm getting the ball, you know. But, yeah, he's been effective. He's a nightmare. He runs really well, Cancela does, and he's long. He's a bear for safety in one-on-one coverage.
1st and goal right at the 10-yard line. Man goes in motion, tight end left. Saraceni will get the carry. Bounces it right, trying to find a little daylight. Turns it upfield across the 5, down to the 4. Nolan Saraceni continues to fight hard. Just underway here in the 4th quarter. Montana Tech 2nd and goal inside the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he's playing well, but, you know, if he's got 2 healthy shoulders, when he turned the corner there, he dials up cornerback that was coming to Phil. Robert Sterling lowers his shoulder and goes right over the top of him.
Loudenback to Saraceni again, and Nolan Saraceni is in for the touchdown. Nolan Saraceni puts Montana Tech up 36-10. 1 minute gone here in the 4th quarter.
18th touchdown of the year for Saraceni.
3rd on the day, 18 on the year.
It's just, I tell you what, if you could just get a couple pass completions, it's amazing the relief that gives your running game. Even down there close to the goal line, just some success, getting guys, secondary linebackers' attention, throwing the football. It's just amazing what it does up front for those guys.
Matty Berg is in for the PAT. 36-10 our score. Montana Tech with the lead, looking to advance into round 2 of the NAIA playoffs. Snap and hold and kick are up and good. 37-10, Montana Tech with the lead over Dickinson. Frontier Conference, the playoffs here at Bob Green Field. Dickinson will get it back after this 1-minute break.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Well, I think so, Frank.
Alumni Coliseum, first round of the NAIA playoffs.
I've been telling everybody in town that Tech is, if they win, they host next week. That's not the case.
That was originally what I was told, but Montana Tech is number 5 in the nation. So there are 4 teams above them that would have the opportunity of hosting. So if all 4 teams above Montana Tech win, more than likely Montana Tech is going on the road next weekend.
So does that mean they all got their bids in?
That's again, that all kind of falls into place. So
my fault to anybody I told that Montana Tech would essentially host.
Well, and originally I was too. Everything I was told originally was that Montana Tech more than likely will host 2. But now there are some things out there that might not be the case. Kickoff bobbled at the goal line, picked up at the 4, the return left side. Trying to find the sideline across the 10, 15, and wrestled to the ground at the 17-yard line. As with the return that time is Seth Evenuk, and Evenuk will bring her out.
Once again, played pretty well out there by Reedside Arias, but Evenuk was able to turn the corner on him, but then he had to deal with tight end Bo Riley Pearson, and Bo Riley Pearson was getting his attention as he grabbed him there and slammed him to the ground.
37-10 our score, Montana Tech with the lead. It is interesting, especially if you're a Frontier Conference fan. If Montana Tech was the host, I would be really worried that Southern would be the team possibly that would have to come in. But if they're both traveling, then that means that it's later and later ever a possibility of 2 Frontier teams playing one another. First down and 10. Just across the 16-yard line, out of the shotgun is Ray. Ray pump fake once, looking for the deep ball downfield, overthrown, incomplete, as he was looking for Chase Anderson, and D'Angelo Bell was out in coverage.
Yeah, in perfect position on Anderson. D'Angelo Bell, outside in, leverage, coming through his upfield shoulder to make a play on that ball, but a nice play by Bell. Just out there on an island, man-on-man coverage, and he does a great job of it.
Just so good out there at corner.
Just a tough guy. I mean, I've stood next to him. He is a little guy, but he is tough. He is tough as nails.
2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun Ray. Montana Tech showing blitz, and they're going to bring everybody. Handoff will go and not go much anywhere, as Hardy with the carry, and carry will be Hardy will be knocked down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that's right defensive end that time. Levi Dawes just beating the block at the line of scrimmage and squeezing the outside zone. Just a nice play out there in space by Dawes.
Montana Tech changing out defensive personnel more. Brock Beatty in a defensive line from over to Joliet. 3rd down and 11. As once again in at tailback is Jay Carty. We have not seen Trey Boone at all here in the second half. He got roughed up a couple times in the first half, and he has not come back out to play. 3rd and 11. Ray looking at the blitz. They release Hardy out into the flat. He gets the catch across the 20, cut down to the 25. He's going to be short of first down yardage.
Perfect call against that blitz. They leak the back out of the backfield to outside pressure. Connor Wines coming on the outside rush here off this side. A perfect call against that blitz, just unable to pick up the first down.
As back out, that will bring up 4th down and 2, and the punting unit comes in here for Dickinson.
Punt ain't a terrible play here. That punt return guy standing on the north side of the field here has to look directly into the sun to field this ball.
Boy, and the sun is out and strong here. So the roll, punt, kick, low line drive. Bray fields it at the 36-yard line, puts on the brakes across the 40. 45 out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
Boy, Bray made the most of the 1 yard on the sideline that he had to work with. A nice move as he caught that ball and was able to scamper up the sideline for about 10 yards on the return. Nice play.
1st and 10, Montana Tech, ball at their 47-yard line. First round of the NAIA playoffs. After today, there will be 8 teams left in the nation. And we'll play our way to someone hanging a banner. Southern Oregon hung the banner from the Frontier Conference last year. They're a completely different team this year, and they're just as good and better in a lot of ways. Out of the shotgun, Montana Tech, as Bunny will take the direct snap. He'll keep it himself. He dances out near the 50. As, Dickinson really trying to wrestle the football away from the ball carriers here as this one continues.
Well, Southern Oregon's had an exceptional year. You're replacing I tell you what, just the best player in NAIA football probably last year, Austin Dodge. What a talent he was to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, just so, he was mobile, but he didn't necessarily have to be mobile. Just a dead accurate, tight spiral passer. Always, I mean, you know what I like that Dodge did? He did a great job of working safeties and corners over with his eyes. He did a great job.
2nd down and 7. As out of the shotgun here for Montana Tech is Loudenback. Plenty of time. Delivers across the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. Getting fingertips on it was Stephen Cook. Cook, the sophomore out of Buffalo, South Dakota. Kind of playing there in the middle rover and got a fingertip on it and knocked it to the turf.
Had what he wanted there. Just had to get a little more air under it. You just... college quarterbacks, you want to succeed at college quarterback, you've got to learn to touch up a pass between linebacker levels and safety levels, and Loudenback just flattened that ball out a little bit. They were able to get a hand on it. He had Deion Williams behind the linebackers in the middle of the football field. Just got to put a little more air under that pass.
3rd down and 7, Loudenback out of the shotgun. Empty backfield, 5 receiver spread on 3rd down and 7. Loudenback dropping back, pocket holds, across the middle, complete as inside the 35-yard line. Clay Cavender is down to the 32. They're trying to wrestle the football away as he falls at the 31, and finally we get a whistle.
I'm glad they finally came back to that dig route, 15 yards down down the field, just between safeties, past linebackers, and Cavender did a nice job crossing the field in zone coverage, recognizing zone coverage, sitting down and making himself a big target for Loudenback to find. Really easy completion if you know what windows to set down in zone coverage there as a receiver.
Boy, he has been nothing short of phenomenal in his career here at Montana Tech. He has done basically everything.
He's had and he's, the best thing about it, he's been great, in spurts the first 3 years, but I tell you, this year he is just he's been so good in so many areas, just outstanding for this offense.
2 receivers, 1 back, and Montana Tech going to call a timeout. 11 minutes left to play here in the football game. Montana Tech leading 37-10 with a timeout. We'll take one. We're back here to Bob Green Field after this 1-minute break.
We kind of try to make it personal. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy the customers.
All of the events that we've participated in, we do an annual spring cleanup to help clean up the neighborhood.
Steels and the Steels family is just a big contributor and a big supporter of the Butte community.
It's that special attention that you get that I don't think you get in a box store.
We have a store in Deer Lodge. We give back to the community.
We got to support the community that supports us, or we wouldn't be here.
Shop with us today and enjoy the Steels experience.
Monday through Saturday. Sale. Must-see store for details. Only at your home for power sports. Redline Sports in Butte.
Back here once again to Bob Greenfield, Alumni Coliseum. It's been awesome to have all the Tech alum back this year. It seems like we've seen a lot more this year, but we're always thankful for everybody listening through the radio waves and online as well. We get a ton of help on scores. I mean, you look at Cal McQuarrie giving us scores all the time because we're completely inept.
Yeah, we've been in touch. Shoemaker's checked in, Mike Shoemaker, and of course Eric Jacobson just sent me a nice text. Good to hear from old Jake. He's been to a couple games this year too.
First down and 10, Montana Tech, ball at the 31-yard line. And the Diggs back out of the shotgun. Play action, looking to throw the football. Downfield, looking for the jump ball for LaChance as it comes inside, incomplete. Nice coverage that time downfield. LaChance one-on-one with the corner, and the corner actually had good body position on him that time.
Yeah, Liggins had good body position. Ball slightly underthrown. LaChance had a step on his corner, but good makeup speed that time by Liggins. And, just a hand on the hip of his receiver going up with his off-the-body hand and getting a knock away.
10:55 left to play here in the football game. Bo Riley Pearson moves to the right side. Handoff will go to the tailback, busting left across the 30 and down to the 27-yard line for Montana Tech as Hunter Gapmeyer, the redshirt freshman out of Bozeman, he'll get himself 5.
Good tackle that time by Delvin Martin. Looked like Gapmeyer wanted to lower his shoulder and run him over, but Martin was having none of it. He came up, put a nice hit on Gapmeyer, and kind of dropped him in his tracks.
I'm so jealous of Gapmeyer's beard, I can't even tell you where to begin. 3rd down and 5. Montana Tech will run 3 receivers right, butted up nice and tight to the formation. Gapmeyer, the lone back. Hunter will get the carry. Gets a great seam to the 20, 15. Hunter Gapmeyer to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10, Montana Tech, as Hunter Gapmeyer plows straight ahead and gets great yardage.
Sterling and safety Vandenbush not as able to tackle Gapmeyer in space that time. Gapmeyer kind of ran right over the both of them.
1st and 10, play action, and a quarterback keeper, Clay Cavender, tries to get inside the 10. Nice move down to the 5-yard line, spins to the 4. I was down here looking at the sidelines. It looks like Nolan Saraceni's day is done. He's got his helmet in his hand, as Nolan Saraceni will end the day with 163 yards on 23 carries.
Got to his average. He was averaging 161 yards a game, and he got to his average, had a nice game. You could tell that left shoulder was bothering him a little bit, but he gutted it out and got the Montana Tech team on top early.
Cavender hands it off to Gapmeyer this time. Hunter straight ahead to the 1. Boy, he
wants that end zone, Paul. He wants that end zone. You can see it. He is scraping and clawing and fighting for every yard. He wants to get in that end zone again.
He just goes so hard. We have to find him on paper here. 5'8", $195.
Yeah, he's got a thick lower half too. too. He's all thighs and rear end, which you need at running back, and he's explosive at the hole. I mean, he's a tough guy to bring down.
9:25 left to play here in the football game. Clay Cavender he'll keep it himself. Cuts back into the end zone. Touchdown Montana Tech. Clay Cavender rolls it in for 6, and Montana Tech goes up 43-10. 9:18 left to play in the football game. Clay Cavender with the touchdown, his second of the afternoon. That puts him right about 70 yards rushing. And Montana Tech goes up 43-10. He makes a real fantastic cut move right to get into the end zone.
Yeah, Cavender's had a nice year. You know, he's averaging just as many yards per carry as Saraceni is this year. He just doesn't see as much action there. Of course, Saraceni, the feature tailback, but Cavender's over 7 yards a tote.
Matty Berg knocks it through. Montana Tech leading 44-10. First round of the NAIA playoffs as Montana Tech with the lead. Dickinson will get her back after this 1-minute break.
The dirt road to my house is accessible. Check. Nothing is obstructing my...
There's a lot of pressure riding on the shoulders of Charlie Oredigger, folks. He takes the snap. The 5-step drop has a receiver open. Wouldn't you know it? It's Charlie Oredigger. He takes it, and he takes it all the way in. Oh my God, folks, I've seen a lot of crazy things in my life, but none as crazy as this. We are on our feet. What a fantastic play. What an amazing performance. Wow.
$399. Don't want 2 chairs? Pair, starting at just $399 at Steele's.
Prices are born here and raised elsewhere. Come home to Steele's.
Back here once again, Bob Greenfield, Alumni Coliseum, deep kick, end over end, taken at the 2, bobbled to the 2, bounces out to the 10, and big hit delivered at the 14-yard line. Big pile still there, and finally going down at the 14-yard line, so Dickinson will take over at their 14.
Evenuck's had a tough time holding on to the football. He's dropped 2 kickoffs in his attempt to return them today, and also dropped a couple balls on that bubble screen, slip screen. He's really struggled to hold on to the football today.
There's a gentleman down here in the Tech student section that has a sign that says David number 46 is Gronk. Does he realize they play on different sides of the football? Maybe. So here comes Dickinson up to the line of scrimmage. 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the football game.
At least he's here.
He is here.
At least they're here.
I love him for it. And Ray out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, hand off to the tailback. Big hit delivered, a gain of 1.
We should mention the good crowd that they have today.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot going on in the State Course Cat Grizz game over in Bozeman, and some local, like high school, Dillon playing down there, kind of a feature game in the high school playoffs. But
we're packed.
Yeah, they're pretty packed here in the stands, and there's still a pretty good load at the tailgate along the north fence. So, credit to the fans and locals coming out to support this team. They are a fun watch. I mean, they didn't play their best football today, but they're just a fun watch.
Yeah, the amount of people I talked to that sold Cat Grizz tickets that they have, whether it's season ticket holders or things like that, there were a lot of people I know that sold tickets to make sure they were here today. Ray will hand it off across the original line of scrimmage out to the 18-yard line. It looked like Jake Hardy had running room, and he was swallowed up quickly. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd down and 6.
That's 2 real physical plays. That's Brock Beatty, the 6'5", 245-pound sophomore from Joliet. Dare I say he's mean when he gets to the ball carrier. He's aggressive. Moves well. There's a nice hole there. The cutback off the inside zone off the left side. The cutback looked like more running room, and Beatty got it down the line of scrimmage and just erased it.
3rd down and 6. Joey Areno lines up right over center. 4 down linemen, or 4 guys at the line of scrimmage defensively for Montana Tech, showing blitz from both corners, and the blitz is coming. Ray rolls out of the pocket left, downfield, overthrown, incomplete. Montana Tech brought the house that time.
Marsden getting his shot in man coverage over there against Austin Brown. The ball overthrown, but Marsden was right there, stayed on top of it, made a nice break on the football.
So that will bring up 4th down for Dickinson, and they'll bring in the punting unit. 7:37 left to play here in the football game. Montana Tech leading 44-10. As we talked about earlier, everything I had been told early was that Montana Tech more than likely would host 2, but now it's starting to sound like we need one of the top 4 teams to fall for Montana Tech to host a game next week. Kickoff, return starting at the 35-yard line across the 40. Alec Bray to the 45, midfield, runs into a defender, but another nice return to the 46. Alec Bray really doing a nice job returning kicks here today.
I'll tell you what, he wants the touchdown that was taken away earlier. He still wants that feeling of a punt return for a touchdown. I mean, he's had to give up a lot this year. That's an offense that's just evolved into a ground attack, getting to your third-string quarterback, and he was the feature wideout. He just wants opportunities.
So another situation where Nolan Saraceni's out. He's got his helmet in his hand. The offense is going out on the field. He's going out patting all of his offensive linemen on the behind, and he's standing over here on the sidelines. And this unit is they're together. I mean, this is a solid offense. Winfield back in. He'll get the carry. He's across the 40 to the 37. Both hands on the football as he gets 9 yards.
You caught what I was laughing at there, Winfield. I mean, he does so much for this offense. The lead blocker for more feature back type stuff, and he got an opportunity early in the game on that first series and fumbled the ball away, but getting an opportunity there, same play, similar result, but this time both hands were around that ball.
2nd down and 1. He is the back again. Winfield across the 35, on his feet to the 30, still on his feet to the 28. Dickinson trying to wrestle that football away, but he'll dive forward to the 26-yard line. Winfield will move the chains as he'll pick up almost 10 on the carry.
Yeah, good run after contact that time, and a lot of effort to strip the ball away. Not just picking on him because he fumbled earlier. I mean, Dickinson, of course, wants that football back, but Winfield not only securing the football, but keeping those legs pumping in the hole and getting down across the first down sticks.
Sorry, I'm going to see if we can see if anybody is updating us as far as scores from around the nation for NAIA playoffs. We'll see if we can get scores.
Did we deliver that Huntley-Fairfield score?
We did not. Please do.
Fairfield's down at halftime, 14-10 to Huntley, or 14-0 to Huntley Project.
Handoff left side. Winfield inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. So Winfield down to the 17. That's a pickup of 9 as the clock continues to run here. 6 minutes left to play in this contest. Montana Tech up 44-10 as they look to claw their way into the second round of the NAIA playoffs. And we'll see if we can pass along some scores and see if we can get any kind of influence on what might happen here coming up for Thanksgiving weekend.
Good job by Coach Pete Sturbick and his offensive staff getting Winfield back in there, getting him some snaps, get that confidence up.
Winfield gets the carry. He's to the 15. And with that effort, he should move the chains here.
And he does.
Okay, so that will move the chains.
Another 1st down, Orediggers.
So Montana Tech will move the chains, 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. So the Digs will come up to the line of scrimmage. Andrew Loudon back at quarterback. And it looks like we have a change at tailback.
The great thing about Loudon back is, they had 2 quarterbacks injured this year early, and both have been knocked out of games once since. Laudenbach hasn't been hurt.
No, he's just been rolling. Hunter Gapmeyer gets the carry, does not get around the left edge as Dickinson is there to wrap him up.
I ran into Andrew down at the party shop after last week's game. He was in getting some post-game refreshments. But, he looked tired, a little worn out, but what a great game he had last week against Western and really emerged as a leader on this offense. He doesn't do a lot of fancy stuff stat-wise, but I tell you what, they've been able to lean on him all season, and he just keeps delivering. Those 2 late-game comebacks in the last 2 weeks were just phenomenal.
2nd down and 9 here for Montana Tech. Dickinson showing blitz. Handoff will go to Winfield. Winfield in heavy traffic will lean down to the 14-yard line. It's going to be a short gain, and that will bring up 3rd down and 8 here for the Montana Tech offense.
Yeah, probably with this big a lead, 44-10 with 4 minutes left. I'd be real surprised if they put the ball in the air even here.
3:50 left to play here in this football game. Montana Tech up 44-10.
Certainly won't do it with Cavender back there.
Cavender comes in to run the Wildcat. Winfield the tailback, 3-receiver spread. Winfield moves to the left side. Cavender gets the snap, hands it off to Winfield. And Winfield, again, in heavy traffic, will pick himself up a couple positive yards.
They're going to trot Matty Berg out to see if he can stay perfect on the year, kicking field goals.
There isn't a soul in the nation using NAIA playoffs as a hashtag on Twitter, giving us scores from anywhere else in the world. Let's get the commish on that and make it a rule, shall we? 3 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the football game. Matty Berg will attempt a 29-yarder from the left hash mark. So Matty Berg will attempt the field goal as they await the snap. 29-yard kick, left hash mark, snap and hold are good. The kick is up, and it is no good. Pulls it left just outside the upright.
That would have pulled him to 12 for 12 for the year, and one away from matching Dustin Sersland's mark of 13 for 13 back in 96 or 97, I believe.
So Matty Berg unable to knock it through, and Dickinson will take over. 2:49 left to play here in the football game. Montana Tech over 500 yards of offense, 71 offensive plays. Nolan Saraceni has sat out the bulk of this fourth quarter. 23 carries, 163 yards. Cavender, 10 carries for 67. Winfield, 7 for 41. Loudenbach is 8 of 17 through the air for 163 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ray out of the shotgun, hand off to his tailback, and really nothing there as Montana Tech defensively swarms to it and shuts it down.
That was Beatty again. I tell you what, he is a load, and he's just a sophomore. I'm really looking forward to his next 2 years.
He is playing with a little bit of what we'd like to quantify as violence out there right now.
Yeah, and at 6'5", at defensive end, I've stood next to Crawford and Ben's, both about 6'2", maybe, but yeah, Beatty just a little taller, and I tell you what, he's playing aggressive.
Montana Tech, a lot of fresh jerseys out there here. 2:10 left to play in the football game. Dickinson looking at 2nd down and 10. Ray out of the shotgun. Handoff will go to the tailback across the 20 out to the 24-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4 as they keep her on the ground, and the Riley Moore, the senior running back, will pound her ahead. That'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5 here for Dickinson. So Dickinson will look to the sideline for the play call. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to play here in this contest. Montana Tech will make their way into the second round of the NAIA playoffs. And we'll see what happens. Possibly a home game, possibly traveling. Still undecided as of right now. 1 back, 4 receivers. Ray pump fake once. Now he's going to scramble. He's in trouble. He gets hit. He's going down. He's going to lose 2 as Montana Tech gets to him. As it looked like
it's Zach
Hulse. Yeah.
I called him Tyler earlier. Tyler, of course, was his brother that was the quarterback down at Western. But, Hulse got a lot of action today at outside linebacker, that time coming up and making a play on Kayla Ray in the flat. Nice open field tackle.
See what we got here. Looks like Davis hooking us up with a score. Start of the fourth quarter, St. Xavier leading Morningside 40-33. And that's one of the that's a big one. Obviously, Morningside is the power right now, number 1 in the nation, and they're losing to St. Xavier.
What was that score?
40-33. Kick end over end across the 50, rolls inside the 40, and they will let her roll inside the 20. So if one of the top 4 loses, Montana Tech would host next weekend. And if I had to travel, my wife would more than likely kill me. 23 seconds remaining here in this football game. Montana Tech up 44-10.
We'll have to get the boss man, Ron Davis, to fire up his private jet.
As Montana Tech will take over. And again, of course, watch ButteSports.com for all the updates as far as what's happening with Montana Tech, whether we're at home or we're traveling. Of course, you'll hear the game here on KBOW next week in the round 2.
That is awesome, that ButteSports.com. I mean, I've been meaning to give you guys some props on the radio. You guys do a great job on all the local stuff, covering a lot of stuff that just isn't getting covered, but so quick to update, get stories online. It's just a fantastic resource for local sports. And you know what I love? The little kid football roundups. They're awesome. I just love it. There's so many of your buddies' kids and family and friends' kids out there. You want to read up and see how they're doing. That's about the only place you can get it, at least up to date. And I just love all that stuff. You guys do a great job on there. I'm homepaging it, and I just like it.
I have nothing to do with it. It's Bill Foley. It is Bruce Saylor. It is Pat Ryan.
Yep.
And those guys do an incredible job. As the first round of the NAIA playoffs, and the victory goes to Montana Tech, 44-10, as the Digs get the home win. And we will see if they live to play another day here in Butte. They will play in the second round of the NAIA playoffs for sure. Now we just wait to find out if they're playing at home or if they are on the road, as Montana Tech gets a huge win over Dickinson, 44-10 here in Butte, Montana. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. We'll give you the numbers, and then we'll theorize from there. Does that work for you?
You bet.
KBOW Montana Tech with the win, 44-10. We're back after this 2-minute timeout.
Nick, are you ready? Fans, at this time we would like to announce the offensive player of the game. Goes to Nolan Saracini, number 33. He had 23 carries for 163 yards and 3 TDs. Congratulations, Nolan, this week's offensive player of the game. And on defense, we have number 1, D'Angelo Bill. D'Angelo had 4 tackles and 4 pass breakups. Congratulations, D'Angelo, the defensive player of the game.
Maybe, but yeah, a good game by D'Angelo and much deserved. There's a lot of cases game in and game out where he would be your defensive player of the game. They ask him to do so much, and he delivers. And, of course, Nolan Saracini, a little banged up, but he came out and just another ho-hum day at the office, 163 yards on, 30 or 23
Fans,
carries?
We'd also like to announce the champion of characters.
I'm looking up NAIA stuff. Nolan Saracini, 23 carries,
for
163 yards.
It's Levi Dawes.
2 deserved 3 touhdowns
He's
for Nolan.
recipient of the champion of
29
character
yards,
award.
So, yeah, that's the good thing about I always forget about these playoff games.
And
they do
for
name
Dickinson State, it's Meyer Bone. Congratulations, Meyer.
Hats off to Dickinson. They came in. They got down early. They had a couple early breaks go their way, or the early.
Once again, the champion of character for Dickinson's number 54, Meyer Bone.
Sean Ryan here with Coach Chuck Morrell. Team first home playoff game in 18 years, able to bring the W back home.
Oh, it was a great feeling for our guys. We said, we have an opportunity to make a little bit of history. You're in a community that has a ton of history, and we wrote a little small piece of our own today. So proud of our guys. Probably not our best ball today, but good enough, and we're looking forward to moving on forward.
You guys were able to run the ball really well. Nolan Saraceni, 160 yards, 3 TDs, and then Clay Cavender really got it done just kind of with that wildcat option.
Yeah, talking off the game coming off of Western last week, where I know our offensive coaches wanted to really get reestablished the run. We challenged our offensive line to step up, and they certainly did.
Talk about the big plays to Colby Cancela. Guy just makes big play for you every week.
Yeah, we just put him in to catch touchdowns. That's it. So, he's been phenomenal. He's a tough to cover down the field. He's a very difficult matchup.
Well, congratulations on the big win, Coach.
Thank you.